Only someone done this at Anfield. Death, taxes, and DG live streams. We're never going to stop, people. We got to 70,000. Big up the family and the supporters, which you lot are, people. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new here. One love to you lot on Twitch. It's the international break. It's a bit of a demi-downer, innit? We got 6 points out of a potential 9. Big up you lot tuned in. It is what it is, man. If you offered me 6 or 7 points from a potential 9, I would have taken it. It could be a lot better. It also could be a lot worse. You're seeing the title, people. Now, my initial reactions to Liverpool getting Isak and everything they're doing. Let's kick off with that. Naturally, as a football fan, in fact, where do I start? As a football fan who's 30 years of age, I believe in life, history always repeats itself, innit? Like, I've seen Spurs win a European trophy. Now, obviously, if you're older than 30, maybe like, let's say 40, 50, you've seen Spurs win a European trophy. You've seen United's period of dominance. You've seen Arsenal win a league title, in which I hope that's the case. One thing I haven't seen, obviously, I've seen Liverpool big clubs, seen them winning stuff, but in terms of period of dominance, that is something that my age range, give or take, wouldn't have seen. And I want to be wary on using the word dominance, like Man City, that's dominance. What you saw United do is dominance. Not saying Liverpool can't do that, because I genuinely feel, especially with City, and my hot take is Pep Guardiola leaves City at the end of the season. I think it's open season for everyone. And again, I want to be wary on the word dominance, but it does feel like Liverpool could do that, if I'm honest with you. Isak is a 6 signing. And if you're a Liverpool fan, the biggest questions you've got is, we've got 9 points from 9. You know, we're not really happy with how we're playing. When everything clicks, nothing can stop us. They've got Salah, they've got Isak, I actually feel sorry for Hugo Ekitike because of Isak and the caliber of his signing and the noise and whatnot. If they never signed Isak, Hugo Ekitike is a bad boy signing, if I'm honest with you. And obviously, Gakpo signed a new deal. They've not rested on their laurels. They finally, I'm sure you, if you ask Liverpool fans, they've probably invested what they want to see from FSG, and they've given Slaughter some of they should have given him last year. The only thing that can stop Liverpool, in my opinion, is themselves. Now, that being said, they're human just like us. Is it almost an impossible task, pipping them to a Premier League title? 100%. You need to be looking at 90 to 100, give or take, that you can win a title without that. But in August, if you're Arsenal, if you're City, if you're Liverpool, that has to be it. We need to get 90 points. They bleed just like us. We know the dynamics. You know, every game is a cup final. We know everything, innit? Every game's a cup final. Every point means something. We've never been on the right side of fine margins. But regardless of how good I think Liverpool are, and I've given them their plaudits, we have to go for it. And if anybody connected to the club, whether that's the fans, the players, Mikel Arteta, anyone around, if you don't believe we can do it, you need to cut, because we're going to war. But that's neither here nor there. Big up you lot, people. Obviously, transfer window's done. I guess for another video, we could do it today to a slight degree. We might go over that kind of stuff. But yeah, Hincapie signed. The Athletic have come out with a think piece around a lot of kind of stuff. So we'll go over that. So yeah, man, big up you lot tuned in. Hello. 70,000. Couldn't have done it without you lot. We couldn't have done it without the supporters, the mods, etc., people. And obviously, big up Andrew of Arsblog, because I had him on at 11 a.m. So yeah, Nems, I'm blessed, man. I hope you lot are. If I haven't said this already, I think I have, but if you haven't been here, happy September, innit? Let's end the month strong. Let's end the year strong. I hope you and your loved ones have good health for the rest of the year, and so on and so forth. I appreciate that. But nah, there's no congratulations, people. We're a family here. We're a football team. We've got to 70,000. That's like us winning the Premier League title. Good day out. Done our celebrations. Now we move forward to other things, people. We ain't got time to rest on our laurels. John, appreciate you. Do you think we have a higher chance of winning the Champions League or the FA Cup than the league this season? Now, well, Candy, this is a question I get asked a lot, you know. And honestly, I don't know, because on one hand, I think we're more of a cup side in a respectful way. I think you look at the Champions League, obviously, the way European teams set up versus us, it feels like our model is better in that regards. But then again, in cup games, there is that element of sink or swim. And when it was sink or swim against PSG, when it was obviously the FA Cup against United, and the year before against Liverpool, obviously Newcastle in the League Cup, we've sunk in it, really and truly. And then I look at the Premier League and, cool, we've got to the quarters and the semi-finals where the champs is. But then you look at the Premier League, we finished second. We're sniffing at it really. As of the 3 years we finished second, last year it was dead, in it. And you do have more of a chance. But I just feel over a Premier League campaign, you have to be perfect. In these 3 games already, we've already been exposed to how we know the season goes. From it starts in August and it ends in May. You're gonna end up where you deserve to be in it. You're gonna win the games that you're gonna have the wins, losses, and draws that you probably deserve, right? But as you lot know, looking at these 3 games, exclude Leeds for a sec, people. Just look at Man United and Liverpool. Sometimes in life, you're gonna in the Premier League, you're gonna win when you don't quote unquote deserve to win. You're gonna lose when you deserve to win. You're gonna draw when you deserve a bit more or a bit less. You look at Manchester United, the game against Man United where we got 3 points, and you look at the recent game at Anfield, innit? I think that sums it up, because we couldn't well, to be honest, we couldn't have complained if United put the ball in the back of the net a couple of times and beat us. We couldn't have complained if it was a draw, but we got the 3 points out of it. There was an element of it feeling unlucky and unfair, obviously not getting anything from the Liverpool game. But then again, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you're on the right side, sometimes you're on the wrong side. I'm all about controlling the controllables. I do think there's a lot of disingenuousness about Arsenal Football Club, if I'm honest with you, when it comes to discussing us. We all know we need to play more attacking football. I do think a lot of Arsenal fans are doing too much in isolation with Arsenal, Liverpool, but I understand it, because against United, against Liverpool, several times last season, it's the old issues that are harming us, type of thing, innit? Both teams stunk out the place. Both teams didn't really go for it. The one thing I would say is Mikel Arteta in-game management. The changes, not in personnel, but the changes tactically Slot made, it led to our demise. You can't bank on, like against Real Madrid, Declan Rice scoring not once but twice from a free kick. You can't factor in Szoboszlai scoring that screamer. Like, nobody had that on their bingo card, didn't it? But that is what Szoboszlai did, what Rice did against Real Madrid. That's why we love football, people. No, them unexplainable moments, give or take. That's why we love football. So if I can't criticize the fact that of the free kick, nine times out of 10 that goes into Rosette or goes wide, we keep it moving. The one time it went in. So rather than criticize the fact that Szoboszlai fancied it, lined it up, put a goal of the season contender, I more look at, for me, the 15 minutes that kind of led to that, or the 15 minutes in the second half. Because again, you could see we're under the cosh, we're drowning. Like, Zubamendi had a good first half, he's drowning in the second half. Our whole team's drowning, people are looking knackered. Liverpool I wouldn't say it was the Liverpool you normally see, but they were taking over, kind of thing, and we were getting overrun. That's what led to the free kick. That's where I need my gaffer to do things differently. Now, obviously, as football fans, you're going to be unfair. Had Arteta done what we want to see typically, and he gambled and we still lost, everyone would say, oh, why did you take risks and things? For me personally, isolated to where Arsenal are at, had we have still lost to Liverpool, but Arteta gambled, like Eze started, or Eze came on early, or Wanyeri's there, or we even inverted from the right versus the left. If we just went against the grain, or we took off Zubamendi and got Eze Rice in there with Odegaard, even if it went left, I'd say, you know what, we have to hold that for the Liverpool game. But it might go right in a couple of other occasions, because there were times last season we just stuck to the script, and I do think that's something Mikel Arteta needs to learn. If I'm completely honest with you, because that kind of them things there harm us. You're therefore not late. You're not late, man. You're not late. You're 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in. If you're here within the first 10 minutes, smash the like button and big up you lot. But that's something that harms us, because let's be honest, like, I know some Arsenal fans do too much. But if we're bantered about being second and not getting over the line, cool, we'll hold that. But if you're saying we're not getting over the line, then clearly we've got some credentials about winning a trophy, right? We're close to it. This is why we need to really do our homework. We need to play more attacking football. The manager needs to sometimes take a bit more risk. Arteta, you got a lot of toys, You've got a lot of toys at your disposal. Utilize them, because that's where I think last season was a learning curve, where you look at the crunch time moments last season for Arteta. But this is also now another learning curve, because even when everybody's been fit, we've operated with a small squad. The team's kind of picked itself, probably excluding this year and what's going to happen. But genuinely, Arsenal fans, we know this. You know the 11 that's going to go out there. There's been anything from 1 to 3 players are coming off the bench. So you've gone from that to you've got more options than you can count now. You know, there's so many things you can do. Not only have you got different options, you've got versatile players. Eze can play in a number of roles. Madueke can do things. You know, if Jesus is fit, there's stuff you could do with Gyökeres. I'm not saying I agree with it, but Kai Havertz is in the mix where Mikel Arteta, Marino, even 3 DMs. I get the angle, Arteta, but that's where I need you to try something different, because playing Marino, I looked at it as that's what Kai Havertz would have been doing if Kai Havertz was fit. Now, the same thing could have happened, but based on what we saw against Liverpool, could you have gone there, Mikel Arteta, and said, you know what, Kai's not there, Marino's not there. Let me slap Odegaard in there. Give me an hour. Give me 45 to an hour. I'll hook you. Put Eze in there. I'll hook you. I understand, you know, obviously, without talking about how it played out, I understand the rhetoric in, not necessarily Marino, but even though I would have started Eze, you know what, Eze, we're going to see how it goes for 70 minutes. Then you're coming in. Odegaard, you might not be fully fit. But these, like, again, we don't lose that many games. We finish second. We get to latter stages of stuff. Yes, we had 14 draws last season, which was probably more detrimental than the defeats. But we don't lose that much. And that's not me trying to big up my team. Those are the things that make the difference. Those 3-4 losses last season, however much it was, and those 14 draws, had those 14 draws have even been 7, what would we be talking about? And it's not always, there's a lot of reasons. It's not just because of injuries. Sometimes we didn't score enough goals. We didn't manage the games. Of all the 14 draws we had, yeah, even the last 2 years against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge specifically, of all the 14 draws last season, how many were dropped from winning positions? And I would also say the draw last season that pains me the most, and you need to obviously have more than just this, but Aston Villa. If you go, obviously football's crazy, but if you go 2 goals up, you have to get it over the line. And where you look at Liverpool, of course, for me, they're standard above everyone. They ain't rested on their laurels. When everything gels, it's looking long. But at the same time, they are going to drop points. But like last season, it's all fun and games, Liverpool dropping points. You need to be there to exploit that. You need to be there to take advantage. And you need to beat them at the Emirates. Let this season be where the Premier League's concerned. At most, in an ideal world, we obviously Arsenal fans, I hope we win the league in it. And we sit there and go, you know what? We never got our win at Anfield after however many years. But it's cool type of thing. We'll have to see. I would have played Eze, Odegaard, and Zubimendi, but it is what it is. For me, in that game, from what I saw in real time, I was screaming, Rice, take Zubimendi off, Rice, get Eze and Odegaard on, maybe even get Wanyeri in. I even think I said as well, get Lewis Kelly on. This is where I need Arteta, because you've got a bunch of options now. And sometimes, you know, in life, you're better when you don't have that many resources and you have to get the best out of all of them. Obviously, we want more options and we need that and things, but sometimes actually having too many things to do can harm us. Because left back, there's so many options. Lewis Kelly, Calafiori, Hincapie now. Obviously, they can all invert, they can all do whatever, but they're all different individuals, and the knock-on effects of stuff. We need to have that ability. We need to bring some unpredictability into this. Obviously, it's got us to a point. You knew what the Invincible sides were doing. You knew what the Jose sides were doing. You knew what the United sides were doing. Pep's a bit different because he has changed things, but you know typically the intangibles that City have come with when they've been the top dogs, right? And Liverpool under Arne Slot at the moment, well, this year is probably more wholesale changes, but you get the point. Being predictable, the invertedness, the defensive stability, all of this, we've needed that. Like, it's got us to this point. But the double-edged sword now is we've been doing this for a few years. People have sussed us out. You know there's invertedness. And you know the invertedness. You know we don't move the ball quicker. You know what we're doing from set pieces. You know we've got players that can harm you, but we don't have any randomness. We don't have anything that, or we're not displaying anything that's not accounted for. And even if the 11 is one thing, I always wonder sometimes, does someone like Arne Slot, like, because, for example, at halftime, Gravenberch came out after the game and said at halftime, Arne Slot said, Shabazz, go a bit further. They gambled a bit and they gambled a bit, got players a bit further forward and said, you know what, we reckon we have the defenders to kind of cope with it. Naturally, I want to see Arteta do a bit of that. But I wonder how much of that was factored with Arne Slot going, boy, from what we know of Arteta, he ain't going to change things. He's not going to change things like that. We know we're probably going to see Eze and Odegaard at some point. We know probably there's going to be stuff at in the last 10 minutes, like with Max Dowman, but he's not going to make too many wholesale changes. They're going to stick to the script. Even like watching the Liverpool game again, one thing, and again, it's a double-edged sword because if this does have cons, but we don't leave players further up the field. You know, we always talk a lot about Martinelli defending and all of those kind of things. And naturally, Saka's doubled up, tripled up against, right? As we all know, smash the like button. But we very rarely hear opposition teams say, that wing is in there because they need to go back with the Arsenal players. And I wonder that we always want to get back in our shape. I wonder, based on reflection of that Liverpool game and how the second half panned out, if we gambled and said, you know what, we've got a great defensive ethos, we do have Declan Rice on the pitch, and even though he's down, Zubamendi, we've got Timber and Calafiori's in a good bit of form. We've got Timber, we've got Declan Rice protecting if worse comes to worse. Declan Rice who's dropping into the centre half, where the centre halves are actually. You've got Gabriel Magalhaes, you've got Saliba. Can we gamble and leave these lot exposed? Now, granted, the double-edged sword is 1 second Salah or someone might do something mad, but where you might lose a bit of defensive solidity, you actually might gain a bit in an attacking sense. And we always say attack is a form of defense, right? We might have even gained a bit more. I think we needed that. And for me, I would also say the Liverpool game in the second half, I'd love an 8. I know the window's shut. I know we're a bit bloated. We're probably not going to see that until the summer. At best, you hope in January a winger comes in. But I think you need an 8, man. You need someone that consistently just wants the ball, knows when to play those short 5-yard passes. Because the one thing we did do in the first half, I wouldn't even say take the sting out of the game because both teams were stinky in it. But Liverpool would have loved the intensity to be a lot louder than it was. We are not, that's not us in it, really. So, yeah, man, ultimately, football's a 90-minute game. For me, I look in the last 15 minutes in the second half. That's, well, in fact, the whole of the second half. But there was a period, I'd say, from minute 45 to about minute 70, where I'm like, Gaffer, it's mad. And then if you're going to play like how we did, to concede, as great as it was, again, forget the free kick and focus on the sequence that led to it. To concede, boy, it's a bit of pill to swallow, innit? It is a bit of pill to swallow, but got nothing else to do but go again, man. Subscribe and like if you haven't. Pick up everyone pushing the channel out there, man. Let me see what you lot are saying, man. We got a lot to go over, man. Well, not a lot, but it's always lovely to be here with you lot. MLS can replicate Partey. I'd like to see him in midfield. Now, if Miles Lewis, I still to this day don't know if Miles Lewis Skelly is going to cut out a career as a left back or a centre mid, or in the present day where you're versatile and able to do either or kind of thing. Playing left back, taking your advantage, got you that new contract, got you as somewhat of an household name, got you elevated into the first team. Great game against PSG, and probably should have had an assist against PSG, let alone Real Madrid, and obviously called up by England. Centre mid, reality is we know how our manager operates. You know, I don't think you're going to see, at least at this moment in time, an Eze and Odegaard, a Wanyeri midfield trio, or one of Rice and Zubamendi pulled out and you go with rotating 8s, or you go with Lewis Skelly. In the game, though, I did want that, and he can do that. And we all would love to see him exposed because in midfield, bro, Lewis Skelly's, he drives with the ball, he wants it. I think games like at Anfield, he's on that kind of stuff as well. And more than anything with Miles Lewis Skelly, it's his attitude. Like, he's a testament to the club, and just on the field, he's not overawed, he's not excited, he's not scared. He's just like, I'm meant to be here. I even think watching the game again should have went with Wanyeri. Arteta, you need to be bolder. If we want to get to somewhere we ain't been before, we have to do different things now. Everyone at this football club has to evolve, and it starts with the manager, obviously the players, but starts with the gaffer, man. I did say I'm worried he won't start Eze. He's too safe playing. To be fair, I think we all knew Eze wouldn't play. And I don't know if Eze's long-term thing for Arsenal's off the left, but there's no way you can watch what's going on the left-hand side and think Eze can't do it. And again, Martinelli needs to fix up, but we're at where we're at. If we just assume Martinelli's a tool, put him in situations where you can use that tool wisely. Because even me, I'm a big fan of Martinelli, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. I'm starting to believe that season, that standout season he had, maybe he's always been this player. We're just putting him in scenarios and situations where he's going to thrive. You all know when Martinelli ain't got too much time to think, he's good. And I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's Mikel. I don't know if it's Martinelli. We're at where we're at. Your days appear numbered, but you are a tool that we could utilize this season. Like, it is what it is, man. Hope Eze can start. And Eze, man, watching that again, like, it's like you're waiting for contact. You should have banged that, should have banged that. I'm confident Eze is going to be, and I'm sure you lot as well, I'm confident Eze is going to be a success at our football club anyways, man. DG, would you take Olivier Glasner or Areola? Oof. I'm more of the Areola. I like Glasner and what he's doing at Palace and all those things. I would have him. Obviously, if Arteta left, I'd have him. But out of them two, I think I'm more on the Areola stuff, I think I'm more on the Areola boat, man. Maybe I've got a bias towards the Spanish kind of managers and whatnot, but you get the point. This guy hates. He's a madman. You only play Liverpool twice. You need to win your other games to win the league. Exactly. But that's the thing. That's why I wanted to, beyond the obvious, I wanted to beat Liverpool because I don't think we've got a mental block against Liverpool. I don't agree with any of that against the top six. Listen, take nothing away from Liverpool and Anfield. It's scary. It can strung out any team. It can stress any team. But I don't think we're that Arsenal team anymore that rocks up in places and gets scared. Of course, we lose away from home and stuff. I don't think we get scared. And people wanted to laugh at Arteta. And yeah, it's funny. But anyone that, whether you support Arsenal or anything, anyone that understands sport, yeah, you understand why Arteta does them win the dog things and the speakers about Anfield, and it's whatever, whether you laughed at it or not, we've done better at Anfield. Even when we've lost now, really. We've lost, we lost, we shagged ourselves type of thing. But you're right, you only played them twice. But the only issue is, unfortunately, every team is going to drop points. And we know we're going to drop points. So the luxury would have been if you take a 3 points, which could be a 6-pointer off Liverpool, it kind of helps you. Of course, we're living, breathing proof of this. We've gone unbeaten in the last 2 years against the top six and not lost against them, but not won the title. There's been times Pep's had a great record against the top six, even when we were part of the top six, but you can't really include us because we were getting spanked. And there's been records where he's actually lost a lot of those battles, but he's won the war. That's our issue. And even now with that going on, and I don't want to do too much 3 games into the season, we all know it's quote unquote the smaller games that have cost us. Even more reason now to make sure you can break down low blocks, bring on subs, change things, all of these things. Because I must admit, I think we're at the point now where I think we need the players to be men now, if that means, if I'm honest. It does feel like in the modern day, with how the managers micromanage stuff, that people are children. We know our team's good defensively. These players are not stupid. And it's going to sound mad, but Rice knows I might be playing as an 8. My whole team's up there. Let me drop back. Or, a winger knows my fullback's gone beyond me. There's a counter attack. Let me drop in. They know these kind of things. I understand why players have to stand in certain roles and we want to win the ball back as quickly as we lose it or make sure we've got bodies. But I need to see a bit more movement. Like, for example, at one point, Eze's playing out wide, right? Calafiori's left back. Declan Rice is centre mid. We all know Eze can take his man on out wide and that, but you don't want him getting chalk on his boots. You want him coming inside, linking up play, taking people on, either going for a shot or things like that. Let's just imagine, well, let me get the tactics board because I don't think I do a good job articulating myself if I'm brutally honest with you, lot of people. But just to illustrate a point, yeah, just to illustrate a point, like, I don't know why this says Madueke. I mentioned Eze, right? So let's like Eze there. You know what? Let's go kind of Fury. So Gyökeres, you can stay there. Eze, you can stay there. Just for example, you lot are irrelevant, yeah. Obviously, these players have common sense, man. Like it's these players have common sense. Again, like we're not doing no tactical thing, but naturally, yeah. If Eze goes inside, bro, Rice has got common sense to know, bro. Let me just occupy that position. Obviously, they're gonna switch back, but they've got common sense. They've got common sense. It's like just let players. I need to see people swapping positions. I need to see people occupying different spaces. Like again, we're not PSG, but playing PSG, for example, like as a neutral, it was lovely to watch, but I want you to learn from Luis Enrique, Mikel Arteta, because he's of the same school of thought. He's on micromanaging. You have to work hard. You see their defenders their attackers bust their asses to defend. But sometimes you see their 6, their highest midfielder, you see their wingers swapping. I think we need that. As much as we think about the opposition, at the end of the day, we need to put balls in the back of the net. And it doesn't matter. And I've said this and I'm going to still remain on it. Obviously, the transfer window's just shut. Everybody's giddy. What does Isak and what Liverpool have done? Arsenal have had a good window. Chelsea this, City that. Signing Donnarumma. Signing is the sexy stuff. Signing sexy. But tactics, because you're buying new clothes and don't know how to put them on. It doesn't matter if you've got Gyökeres, Sesko. Isak was probably of the dream striker for us. And in terms of individual brilliance of Gyökeres, Sesko, and Isak, he's probably the one that probably could have thrived the most in this system in the current climate of what we're talking about, right? But it don't matter who's up front. It don't matter who's up front if you're not creating, like if you're not feeding these guys, how are they meant to eat? So there's a lot, and I'm not expecting it to change 3 games into the season, but I must admit I ain't seen no little inklings. If anything, the only inkling I thought was against Bilbao, which was pre-season. But you are right. We only played them twice, man. We only played them twice. We would have said he tried. Arteta is a big pussycat. At what point does the players take over the game and try something without being directed by the manager? Well, in the present day, I don't think that's going to happen. More so back in the days or my early days watching football in my 30 years, that's more of a thing. The only time, when have you really seen that? Probably Declan Rice. Because Raya said it the other day when he was talking with Ben Foster against Real Madrid. He's like, I thought he was going to cross it. I think Odegaard's telling him to cross it. Saka and Rice said, you know what, if you're feeling this, go for it. But then Arteta has to promote them to do that. And then if we're going to do that, to be fair to the manager, there's going to be times that's going to bang, and there's going to be times you're not listening to the gaffer and it goes left. So again, we're going to have to live or die by that because we take risks. Why? We play out from everyone does, but we play out from the back. There's going to be times Raya's going to drop a clanger. Someone might get caught in midfield. It happened against Liverpool. It went unpunished. But do you remember Raya played Zubamendi and he got caught? Marina had a stray pass. Madueke had a stray pass. A few years ago against Fulham, Saka had a stray pass. That happens. But clearly the pros outweigh the cons type of thing. So there's always a trade-off. And I do understand defending and the aspect of defending, but it's an age-old thing. Defense, attack is a form of defense, and defense wins titles, goals win games. There's a lot more to go, man. How many times have we created numerous clear-cut chances? Obviously, there's been more times, right? But off the top of my head, the last 2 times we've gone out of the FA Cup, ironically, against Liverpool 1 year at the Emirates and Man United, where eventually went to penalties and we went out. They're the only times I can really think of where we're creating a bag of clear-cut chances, and Trossard's missing, Havertz is missing, people are missing chances, and you're like, obviously at the time, I don't think anyone was saying Gyökeres, but that's, for argument's sake, that's where you're like, raw, you got Gyökeres, you got Isak, there's a little tapping to be said there, man. I thought you were like Lee Gunner and Cole being negative for the sake of it, but after listening to your options, I now know that's not the case. Let's hope we can win something this season. First things first, shout out to Lee, because Lee's my guy, and shout out to everyone else involved. Everyone's allowed their opinion, but damn, that's why is it Campion? That's why you need to give people a chance, man. You need to give people a chance, man. I feel like Andrea Berta. You need to, you just found out about me, and you're doing me out. Give man a chance, man. I'm therefore positive, I'm therefore negative, and I'm therefore everything in between. I'm therefore emotional, I'm therefore a passion merchant, but when your emotions are heightened, that's when I think you need to keep them in check. And I don't subscribe to this logic of like just throwing everything away 3 games into the season. Like, I understand it because I understand the frustrations, because for me, everything I've discussed probably in this first 27 minutes, these are not things I've necessarily learned this season or reservations I've had this season. But regardless, do I think it's am I quite pessimistic on our Premier League hopes? 1,000,000%. Do I think, before I look at how good or bad Liverpool are and what they're doing and the fact they've won it, before I look at anybody else, do I think we've controlled the controllables and maximize what we can maximize? No. Do I think it's almost an impossible task pipping Liverpool? Do I think we have the ability to shoot ourselves in the foot? 1,000,000%. But then what are we doing here then? Regardless, we need to go for it. As good as I think that Liverpool front line is, and Arne Slot's done it, bro, they bleed just like us. They're humans just like us. If we really, really push ourselves, then you don't know. And then if we do these things, that's when I start to personally entertain conversations around we never had luck. We need to make our own luck. Again, as I said, if we want to be somewhere that we ain't been before, or definitely in the Emirates Stadium, then we have to do different stuff, man. As a Liverpool fan, if you had Ancelotti, Conte, or Enrique, I'd be terrified of you. Arteta is your weak link. Arteta's got no hiding place. End of the day now, you've got us to this point. Now you need to show if you can cross the line really and truly, because I also think, looking at Arne Slot, right, cool. Fast forward, Liverpool have signed who they're signing. They won the league. When he came in, I don't know if any Liverpool fans were saying, get Arne Slot when it became clear that Klopp was leaving. But then I look at Arne Slot. I'm sure he's won the Eredivisie title in Holland. Now, people can say, it's Dutch league or whatever, But you look at last season and you look at maybe actually what led to our demise. Sometimes you can have your own tactics or, one way around doing stuff, but it might not be the right time or the right kind of climate to do it. You have to box smart. I do think managers have to be stubborn, and every manager is stubborn, and life is quite hypocritical. As managers, you've got to be very stubborn, but you've also got to have that balance. I do think that when we played on Slot, I do think the little experience, not a little experience, but the experience Slot has, how much did that help him with what Liverpool's doing? How much has that helped others? Because I do think Arteta, you've got your experience now, you might have only been here 5-6 years, and park off Arsenal for a sec. Someone that's been a manager for 6 years, that isn't too much. But I think you've got enough lived experiences of your own back being a manager, whether we've been in title shouts or just trying to get back to basics. I think you've got enough practical experience, because at the end of the day, you was in the dugout at City. You know about the fine margins and things of that ilk. So yeah, man, Luis Enrique would be the dream for me. It would be the dream. And I don't think it's as unrealistic as people make out, purely because we're paying a man 15 million a year. bro, the bulk of the thing is done, bro. Like the bulk of the team is here. If we really, well, we're probably not going to spend what we spent this summer, last summer, but there's money there. But you've got no reason to leave Emery. You've got no reason to leave PSG. Conte, for a year to get us over the line, it wouldn't be pretty, but I'd have that. Carlo don't want to do the club management no more. But I hear it because at the end of the day, you can't blame Edu anymore. He's not here and he's done us a favor taking Zinchenko. Whatever people say, like, these players are not bad. The vast majority of these players at Arsenal, yeah, if you were to say they're just available, I'm sure there's a couple of like, the other 19 teams in the Prem, they'll have them. Well, everybody's taking Timber. Everyone's having Saka. Everyone's having Saliba. Depending on who you've got in goal, Chelsea bat your arm off for David Raya. Gabriel Magalhaes, people would love him. Calafiori, he'd get a move. Miles Lewis Skelly, Wanyeri, he's 15, but Max Dalmany, get a move. People can say whatever they want. Declan Rice, there's not many teams that man don't get into. A lot of teams wanted Zubamendi. Gyökeres wouldn't have an issue. So we've got a good bunch of players. So Arteta's gonna have to get over the line now. And if you can't get over the line, like it's not an emotional thing. You've done well. Simply put, from the minute Arteta walked into this football club to if he left today, are we in a better stage? Are we in a better conversation? We've gone from people talking about stupid conversations. Big up Leicester, but you have to catch it straight. Leicester and Spurs have overtaken us to now we're being bantered about being second. But you need to get over the line. And I think you shoot yourself in the foot. I think there's only so much crying about injuries that we could do. So, yeah. I don't trust our manager to take us over the line despite the signings. That's where he has to prove people wrong. That's where he has to prove people wrong. Because the bad news for Mikel Arteta was Arsenal, realistically, for many a reason, if I'm completely honest with you. Because I didn't quite subscribe to it, but what were people saying when it was all said and done? Oh, juggernaut City side. If City ever fall off, we're going to be there. And we all know how last summer panned out in terms of recruitment. And in hindsight, with Jason Ito probably scheming on his next career move, Edu as well, it makes me think really what was going on there compared to now where we're all aligned and we're doing things. But getting back on task, right? Obviously, people said when City fall off, we're there to strike. City did fall off. Who was there to strike? It was Klopp. It was Liverpool. They done it with Klopp. They now did it with Slot. So everyone, rightly so, hang on. New managers come in, weren't really his team. Let's be honest. Last summer, Liverpool did him dirty. Half-fit Chiesa, contract BS. He stepped into a great man's shoes. It's not the same, but there's going to be serious eyes on you if you take over Liverpool from Jurgen Klopp in the same vein with us, with Wenger, or when Fergie left with Moyes. He's made it happen. So we're like, what's going on there? And again, before I look at Liverpool, not to say I'm of the school of thought, get your own house in order, maximize what you need to maximize. Then you can look over and whatnot. Because we didn't do that. Because as good as Liverpool, as bad as Liverpool were, and all of that jazz last season, whatever people have to say, why we got 14 draws? Why am I still crying about, for a team that's got 90 to 100 goals, I guess, in the last 3 years, about goals? It's an over-the-line business, and the fans deserve it, the players deserve it. Because Berta's done his job now. Maybe not in terms of getting us a lot of money in terms of outgoings. I mean, we ain't really... That's something long-term for us as a football club. We're not making enough money on outgoings, bro. That's what people forget about Liverpool. Like, they've made some serious bread. Chelsea always going to make bread. City always going to sell some academy players. We need to get better at selling players that obviously in the first team that's not going to make it. Probably need to start finding some market opportunities as well, people. You look at Martinelli, using him as an example, obviously isolate what we're thinking about Martinelli, but you bought him for 6 million. He's more than repaid his thing. Can you get man from Brazil that costs 6 million? They might be in the first team. They might not. They might go on a couple of loans. That 6 million turns into 40. Reinvest, keep it moving. Being good is not good enough. I don't want to hear about what we're good as. I say this all the time. There's no point waffling about what Arsenal are good at as a team. Take the good and make it great. What we're bad at, make it good. Because I'm comfy with defense. Even take nothing away from Mascara, right? But we're a good defensive team with a good defensive ethos. How much does that make Mascara thrive? And now look at it simultaneously in the other end of the pitch. Whatever you say about Gyökeres, is he a bad striker? Man, bagged for Sweden, bagged in Coventry, bagged in Lisbon. Why is he struggling here? How many times have we created for? And of course, he needs to get fit. How many clear-cut chances have there been for Gyökeres, realistically? Because I expect to see him up there for goals next season. And also, I expect to see him, Haaland, Isak, a bit different, but Salah. If Kane was still here, I'd say Kane, up there for Premier League big chances. Strikers are going to make big chances. We're not creating. His goal against Leeds was amazing, but you don't want to... That's coming like he has to do that. And we all know in the present day, and especially as being a striker at Arsenal, I wouldn't say it's the least favored position of the attackers, but you're a sacrificial lamb. Like what? You've had to play three at the back 1 week. You're playing a promoted side the next week. You're playing Van Dijk and Konate the other week. You know, the joy comes from the wide areas. What did we say before the game? If we're going to do anything, it's for the wide areas. Now, granted, I can't say I predicted Raya's going to knock it long to Madueke and him and Kirkes are going to be in a fight, but you're already a sacrificial lamb. You already have to drop into midfield. You already have to occupy centre halves, pull out to channels, and still get yourself in the box. There is a bit of a tax for our attackers. How much more goals would Saka get if we left him further up the field or had more of a creative ethos? How much better would, and I think it's more on Martinelli needed to fix up. And at the point, the only criticism I have from Arteta now is why are you playing Martinelli because he's not doing the job. But if we put Martinelli in conditions he's going to thrive where he don't think, then we're, where he doesn't have too much time to think, then we're laughing. You've got the tools now. Previously at Arsenal, you could have that school of thought, okay, a tradesman, in this case, Arteta, you're only as good as the tools you got available, which at the time or at a period, that was cool. You can rock with that. You can run with that. Now you've got state-of-the-art tools. You've spent big money on these tools. You went Halfords and Wicks and all of the Argos, and you've got these tools. You've got to utilize them. So, yeah, man. Interesting talking points. Keep them going, man. Hincapie, Isak, Salah, but raining goals, bro. Scary. It's absolutely scary because, you know, we double up against Salah, but you double up against him, you've got Isak, and you got Isak there now, and you've got Cody Gakpo, or whatever have you, and Hugo Hincapie, who are, I actually feel very sorry for you because, not even sorry for you, at Liverpool, you're doing good things, but no one ain't talking about your thing like that. Like, bro, he's a bloody good forward, and Sparrow fought for Newcastle because they probably thought, oh, we'll hold on to Isak, bring in Hugo Hincapie. We know we're going to have to sell Isak one day. It is what it is, and look at now. They got Visa and someone else, though. That Wolfmate guy, I don't know if it will correlate from Stuttgart to the Prem, but he's good, man. Big up DJK, Joe Gomez. Can't stop, won't stop. Karma, tell them again, man. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, I think is typically what I say. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but you're tuned in from Pakistan, so big up yourself. Big up the Pakistani ones, man. Put it this way. If you play out front here, your knees will go. Exactly. And, bro, being a forward or at Arsenal, bro, it used to be a striker's dream because remember when we were shit? Bro, we create chances for time. How many clear-cut chances? Again, at no point, Alisson's a wonderful keeper in it, but at no point did we go, bloody hell, Alisson, what a save. He's kept them in it. Like, that's what you need to do, type of thing. You need to start creating, and for Arteta, you need to start gambling, bro. Attack is the best form of defense. You've got Rice, who's got the engine of a horse. You've got Gabriel, you've got Saliba, you've got Timber, you've got other options. We can gamble a bit. And again, going back to the Liverpool example, it genuinely looked like Liverpool knew we weren't going to leave man further up the field. We're always going to get back in our shape. So naturally, forget Liverpool's attack and their midfield. And to be fair, I can see why they wanted Zubimendi as well, you know. They're higher up the field. So then typically what happens? Less so much Konate. Van Dijk starts saying, woof, boom, let me ping some passes. And I know it's not the same, but I've said this all the time. You see Van Dijk for Liverpool where he's pinging passes and he's really the centre half in terms of build-up play. I kind of want to see that from Saliba because I don't think we see enough from Saliba, if I'm honest with you, in his passing. Bro, the man can ping a ball, can carry a ball. I think we can get a bit more out of that, man. Bro, Aubameyang was eating. Why does everyone think Isak's going to work? Remember Torres to Chelsea. I hear that, but Isak is going to work, bro. Like, it's a typical Liverpool striker. Like, he's going to, I think it's going to, I hope it don't work naturally. I hope we get to sit there and say, oh, what they spend 130, but it's going to work, bro. He's going to work. And it's annoying because obviously Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes have struggled. You know, they're human like everyone else, but they do all right against Haaland. They do all right. They ironically done all right against Salah, but Isak's the one that, at least in the last 2 years or something, he's ran rings around them. Like, he's really stressed them out. Don't you start dragging Willow, not on my watch. I'm not dragging Saliba. I'm saying Mikel Arteta, get like, can we promote Saliba to carry the ball a bit more, play those punching passes? I'm saying I want to see that from Saliba. Calm down, man. You're just upset. It's not my fault. We sold Kivio, you know. I think Emre would do well with this squad. The only thing I would like Arteta to do that Emre used to do is the one thing I give Emre in an Arsenal shirt. You did change things. You did change things. You changed things. You weren't scared to change things. I think Arteta don't do that enough. At what? At what? to be fair, with this squad or since Emre left, a couple more cracks in the Europa League at the Europa League. I back him to do that. But Emre does the underdog. He's not doing well at Villa. Emre is not good when it comes to a team that's got some level of expectations. He's good at the underdog thing. I'll always have respect for Emre. You know, anyone that's going to take the job after Arsene Wenger is it. You know, big up you because you show big bollocks. I think it was, and that's also why I praise Mikel Arteta because it got stale. People took. I can tell you for free. I won't talk too much, but I can tell you for free. People took the piss out of Una Emre at this football club, and it's a disgrace. The young players, people taking a piss, absolutely taking a piss. I have nothing but respect. One thing that annoyed me as well with the media is obviously there was a laugh and a joke. It went a bit too far with the good evening. Any foreigner that comes to an English speaking country and tries to learn the language and stuff will always have my respect. But I do think people rewrite history with Emre. I think Emre failed us when we missed out on the top four. I think Emre failed us in the league. I think the boys at the time, they failed themselves, let alone the fans and the football club in the Europa League final. You lost 4-1. You lost 4-1. And whatever you say, what Emre's been to probably about 4 or 5 finals, probably won 4 Europa Leagues. What's the only one that he ain't won at? I don't know why European football hates us, man. It's your fault you were dragging Kivio. Kivio weren't needed, man. Good player, and big up you for the end, but you didn't have that dog in you, man. We like big up Kivio. You want a bad defender, but you're too nice, bro. You're too nice. I don't want nice defenders. I want guys that are cunts. Pardon my French. He's too nice. You need players that are on this. Now we upgraded South American, Hincapie, Ecuador. He's on this. You can take them, man, Atletico Madrid away. They're not overruled. They get fouled. They're on it. And it just is what it is. And clearly Kivio wanted to leave. If Kivio didn't want to leave, I don't think we signed Hincapie. We probably do because we never got Hayatato. And I did want a left back. I got one, but you get the point. The best news is Zinchenko cut on loan. Bandulu loan is basically a permanent, but yeah, man. I remember DG starting a stream and saying good evening in a Spanish accent. You can, I never did that, but you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when the media took it too far now. Now you're actually buoying him about his voice because Emery spoke perfect English. Like, he spoke very good English. Obviously, I don't know how you make it make sense, but you know, when someone's learning English or they speak English and they're making sense, but like one word might not, like the sentence that they use it, that they put the word in don't make sense. But yeah. And I just think, especially where, I guess if you live in America, but definitely England, people underestimate like having to learn new languages as a way of a survival, because obviously we're talking about football, but this is a job. These footballers come from all over the world, managers and etc. They're economic migrants. That's like people moving to this country, whether they're doctors or they're cleaners or whatever, and they don't know the language. You have to learn it, really. And I don't have any regrets. But if I could go back, if I could actually go back to school, I would say I would have actually listened and not got kicked out of either Spanish or French. And it would have been nice to learn, be fluent in another language. Emery, wrong place, wrong time. Kivio just go it the Ramsgate. We had to upgrade. We had to upgrade on Kivio, man. Like we ain't got time for that, bro. Kivio's not good like that. You need, like you saw with a bit of confidence, you're getting to see his passing range. You lot used to say, "Oh, Kivio's got passing range." I should have passing range. You're a Polish international and professional footballer, and I started to see it, but I don't want that. We need people that when things are going wrong, their heads are not dropping. When things are going amazing, they're not thinking they're better than what they are. We need that really and truly. And I do think Hincapie's better than him. I don't think Hincapie's perfect. I think there's an element of rashness and brashness about him, but I'm on that. I don't want to see nothing around this defenders anymore, man. But yeah, I think Isak's gonna bang, bro. If anything, you're hoping that Liverpool's defense is the one that lets them down, whether that's the whole defensive ethos and the teething problems and things. Like, I imagine in the next year, Liverpool sign a midfielder, whether that's a 6 or an 8. I think they'll sign another right back as well, personally, potentially another left back. You know, if Tsimikas has gone Roma, if that ends up being permanent. And I don't know for Andy Robertson. I thought Robertson would go. Wasn't he linked with Atletico? I still think we can win the league right now. I just pray on Liverpool's defensive injuries. Nah, man, don't pray on injuries because I don't feel their cover is as good as ours, especially now they didn't get Gerhi. It's not, but they got that Italian 18-year-old. They still got Canati. They still got Van Dijk. There'll be some random academy player. I mean, yeah, because both teams are playing a lot of games. I think it's too early to write off Gyökeres, but we need to supply him with opportunities. A lot of people forget, I don't care about rivals. Like, rivals are irrelevant from the Gyökeres thing. If he flops, he flops. If he does well, he does well. Let's be honest. Everyone knows Gyökeres is not the most beautiful striker I've ever seen play for this football club or in the league. It's definitely ugly. But sometimes life is so ugly. It's beautiful. We want you to put balls in the back of the net. He's still chasing fitness. He's still learning tactically. Again, it don't matter who goes up front, who goes off the left. We're not an attacking centric team. The open play chances, all of these things reflect such. So how is a man gonna thrive? Shouldn't be writing him off. But I think there's a lot of experts and tacticals that just can't fathom that. They were in love with Sesko. We didn't get him. Gyökeres is here. You just want to do the I told you so. There's too much of this I told you so. Like a lot of the Arteta outs and the Arteta, there's too much of that. I'm confident about Gyökeres because I know you got the mentality and you like, whether it doesn't work or not, Gyökeres, you got a supporter in me. You've got a supporter in me. I know we got Eze and all these things now, but let's not forget Gyökeres did everything that man fucking could to sign for this football club. The striker that went to United got scared of Kai Havertz. It's the reality of it. We saw it in the Athletic. Kai Havertz scored twice in a 5-0 win against Chelsea. Scared. Not to mention being taken around the houses by Leipzig. So you have a supporter. Martinelli just needs to hold bench. That's it. Trossard settings. Yeah, but then we're repeating last season. We played Martinelli till we're sick of it. We played Trossard till we're sick of it. For me, Gabriel Jesus, give me 6 months. Get fit. I need Gabriel Jesus left wing. And you know what? Nelson looked good in pre-season. Big up Nelson for going Brentford. But nah, man, just slap Eze left wing, bro. Slap Eze left wing. I don't care now. I'd rather the complications that come with that. End of the day, Eze dropping his shoulder, taking on, was it Szoboszlai or Gomez, and the little shot he had, that is more than I saw from anyone else. Because at this point now, Nelly just has come out of the team, man. DG, do talk some sense. People already saying the league is done after 3 games. It's emotional. It could be done. We might look back in hindsight, but if we're going to give up now, what's the point? Because for me, we've got no divine right. If Liverpool show why they're the champions currently and renew it, and Isak gets X amount, Salah X amount, Liverpool already showed champions mentality because they're laughing at the end of the day. You know what? 9 points where I'm sure Liverpool fans, and it's not to be disingenuous, Liverpool slot, their players, they know they're not in full form. Nobody's going to be in full form and there's going to be teething issues 3 games in. But if we're going to give up, what's the point? It's supposed to be difficult. You're supposed to look at Liverpool or previously City as madmen. Or if you're talking about the Champions League, well, you could say Liverpool and City because they've done it. Maybe Chelsea with their European heritage. Historically, the Barças, the Inters, the Real Madrids, you get where I'm going. If you don't think you have a chance, if you don't believe, if you don't want to go for it, then what's the point? As long as we give it all we can, of course I want to win. And if we don't win, then of course, questions have to be asked. We have to change course and do other stuff. But as long as you give it all you can and you say, fair enough, you know what? We played Real Madrid. They did the Real Madrid stuff, or Liverpool did whatever. They went on a 20-game unbeaten run, back to the drawing board. Don't let it be, make it be just I'm saying that. Let me also, if that is the case, I look at my team and say we're attacking to what we want to see. The manager's being flexible. There's all the in-game stuff. We're utilizing the squad. Then fair enough. I don't know where we go beyond that point, but you get where I'm going. And if the league's done after 3 games, everyone fuck off then. Like, what's the point? I don't care how impossible this looks, bro. If you don't want to go to war, if you don't want to do this, if you're scared, go to church. If you're on doing what we're doing, it is what it is. Fighting Liverpool for the title, it's like fighting someone you know that can beat you up. But if you believe you can beat them up and you move madder than them, you might just move to them. We've all watched Friday. Debo got thumped up eventually. Go and try a thing. It's supposed to be difficult. There's never going to be ideal conditions. Things are going to go wrong. Managers going to make mistakes. Players going to make mistakes. Shit's going to happen with referees. Man are going to get injured. There's never going to be... And there's some Arsenal fans that I think wear knickers. I'll be brutally honest with you. Not the galley as well. They wear knickers. They think this football thing is some fairy tale. That's not how it works. Nothing has been easy. Man think the Invincibles never had setbacks. You think... What's going on here? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what fairy tale we think we're going in, man. But yeah, I don't know if it's a stretch. But Liverpool signing Isak could possibly not work. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Galacticos with R9, Carlos, Beckham, etc. Barely won trophies. I hear that, but it's not really that though, is it? It's not really that though, is it? I hear it, but it's not that at Liverpool. It's not 11 stars and all of that. And Liverpool is not like Real Madrid, where the manager might, at Real Madrid, you might be making the best tactical decisions for the team. But certain people you're leaving out the team. There's calls from higher above. Yo, if you don't play X, Y, Z, you're gone type of thing. Because I actually think Carlo had a bit of that. You had to play certain man because there's voices in your ears and things going on. Emre had a bit of that. Remember, Wenger never had it. Since Arteta came in, he's won the player power. Anyone that's moving mad, he's gone. So I don't think it's that. You've got Isak, who I'm sure is going to check in and be humble. Isak's star, but he's got humility in it. Salah the same. Oh, they've got stars, but I don't think it's that. But you are right. I don't know how it all gels in, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of games. People can get injured, And again, Liverpool have gone crazy. Again, they needed to bring in other attackers. They needed to probably share the burden of Salah. They do kind of need to think about long term who's going to get the goals if Salah's not here, even though you could argue that was Salah's best season last year, and when he's one of the oldest in it. And unfortunately, RIP Diego Jota as well. They lost an attacking body because of that. So it's interesting. Was annoyed when he called out Eze when he never does for Martinelli or even Havertz. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't know if those comments are real, but I don't think he's wrong in theory. But I didn't like it. Now, granted, where it might be exaggerating a bit and doing mad stuff, but yeah, I didn't really like that. To be fair, I have seen him draw out Martinelli. He don't draw out Havertz, but I've seen him do that. You're asking a midget to dunk. 5 years in, he ain't got that coaching skill. This is who he is. Accept it. And you know what? Arteta, if this is gonna be you, make it work. Because I am just an armchair expert. Make it work. If you know more, which you should, pro license, 50 million a year, Premier League manager, experience and CV in comparison to me speaks for itself. Make it work. I don't care if we play the most attacking football or we play horrible football and you get to the end. But the problem is, if the football's going to be horrible, you have to get over the line, bro. Because we're doing neither right now, and we've got a good chance. We've got a good chance. DG is right. You can buy whoever. Don't mean say it's going to work. It's what it is, man. Need to see Eze, Saka, Jesus at least one time this season. Trust me. DG, would you take Leao now? Yeah. I'm tired of the left-hand side, bro. Like, for me, Martinelli, Trossard, you man are squad players, bro. You man are squad players. You can be utilized. You two, Kai Havertz, Jesus, at least for a year, you man are tools. You man are tools that can be utilized in some aspect, but we need to put people in their right frames. Stop making squad players have to start week in, week out and things of that ilk. Because even against Liverpool, big up Max Dowman for coming on and stuff, but that one there didn't make sense. It did in that, Arteta just sticks to the script. This is what we planned on. That's what we're doing. Cool. The game's kind of gone against us now, or it's going against us now. Dowman, get your little run out. The youth project should be graduating soon. There's no more projects anymore, bro. The projecting is done. The project ended in hindsight now. The first year we fought for the title. Cool, Arteta, you came in. There was some bumps and bruises. You got a lot right. You got a lot wrong. Saka, all these men have grown up. Since that first year we fought for the title, there's no more projects, bro. It's just operation. Get Arsenal a Premier League trophy or do things for the whole reason we moved to this flipping stadium. Ideally, you offer me the Premier League or the Champions League. You don't know my thing. I'd rather the champs. We're too big of a club not to have won that. I'm 30 years of age now. I don't want to die without seeing that. If you told me in 2006 that's as close as we're going to get, boy, we've had some good nights in the Champions League. But at best, what has it been? Thumping up Madrid, Jack Wilshere's performance at Barcelona, couple of other good days, not really to the same standard, but PSV and whatnot, when we smacked them last year, but there's no that. And I think the fans do that. I think the players do. I think the players need to win because now it's a mental fatigue for the players, mental fatigue for maybe the manager. Is getting to the stage, Gaffer. Until you win, everything's got to be on the table. Do the players need a new voice, whether it works or not? Do they need new ideas? Do they need new things on the training ground? Clearly, you've reinvented yourself. And I wouldn't describe Arteta as an attacking manager, but you can't tell me you don't have the capacity to attack because even though I've been vexed about how we're playing, Saka is still getting numbers. A lot of these players that we don't rate, they've had their numbers under Mikel Arteta. You go back to the first year we fought for the title, every game was on knife edge, but in the attacking sense, we were good on the transition. So you've got the capacity to do it. You're choosing not to for whatever reason. Now, I'm sure you've got your reasons, but a lot of what we was complaining about with Liverpool, with Man United, probably all over pre-season and probably over the course of last season, the gaffer's not stupid. If we're saying this, you can see this, but the difference is you're seeing it and you're choosing to not do something about it, or you're choosing to remain stubborn to your principles. Now, I'm never going to be able to ask you questions like, why are you doing this? Why is that happening? I might have a new outlook. I can only call it as I see it. And it feels like we're doing the same things, expecting different results. It's on you, Gaffer, now. This is the first time, obviously, Liverpool's window's been wavier than last year, but at the same time, we've had a good window. When have we ever sat here and said that we've done that, whether it works or not? This is the first time we've had goosebumps and this and that, and it's actually correlated. You've got the tools now. You've got the tools. And a lot of people that are disingenuous about Arteta in a toxic positive light, you don't rate him. You can't rate him. You don't rate him as much as me. The difference with me, I'm not Arteta till I die, bro. I'm Arsenal till I die. You don't rate him. Because if you genuinely think he's one of the best managers in the world, we can't let him go because what else would we do and what he's done and the tactics and the good days at the office and we were injured and we were still second and everything he's done. If you genuinely believe all of this and we're second, he's taking it, we're second, right? We're sniffing at it. We're closer to it. We've gone under him, which he's been in he's at this moment in time, he's entering his third, but he's been in the Champions League 2 years, right? Quarterfinals and the semis. So if you've got second, if it's really been fine margins that have done us dirty, if you showed year-in-year improvement, quote unquote, in the Champions League with a weakened side, because people love to say Real Madrid was weakened, went out there with Kivior, Luis Skelly, Marino up front. I think it's fair to ask, why are you not winning the Prem? Why are you not winning the champs? One thing, these questions would have been there, but Gaffer, one thing that would have helped you after you won your first FA Cup, if we was picking up a League Cup here, FA Cup here and there, the pressure would still be there to win a major honour, quote unquote, but it wouldn't be like, yo, we need a trophy now. And people already know it's going to, realistically, if the Gaffer doesn't win a Prem or a champs, the talking points are still going to be there. People are going to be disingenuous, myself included, because last season, the season that just went, what did people say? We've seen Chelsea win a Conference League. We've seen Spurs win a League Cup. We've seen several clubs, Newcastle even, Palace even. A trophy's a trophy. They're around. They're going to win trophies. Obviously, a year from now, if we only win the league or the League Cup or FA Cup, people are going to say that doesn't suffice. I think for the players, they need to win something. Ideally, the Premier League champs, they need to win something because it does feel like their efforts are in labor. And I've always said, like, I think Arteta is at the stage now where obviously everything's not your fault, but it's a CEO type thing. Everything's your fault now in a good way. Everything's your fault. And I feel sorry for the players. I think the club let the players down last year. They were ran into the ground. They stood up tall. People were playing with injuries. I can't question even the players that have left. I can question your ability. I can't question your commitment to this thing. And I do think we've drawn enough blood from the stone in it with a lot of man. We can't keep doing this. Just be real with the players. Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. No. You definitely didn't offend me. Just give the Don a chance, man. Don't see how he changes his tactics. He's too stubborn, which is costing us now. Well, then, boy, we know what needs to happen at the end of the season, man. Because there is an element. Even Mikel Arteta's most loyal supporters, even if they get fancy gigs from sucking dick, so they're on all the platforms and whatnot, behind closed doors, there has to have been a conversation. Like, they have to be having it. Like, you know what, Gaffy, you've done well, but have you gone as far as you can? Are you the man before the man? In the same way, you can never say Wenger was never the man. But if we look at purely the Emirates era, Wenger paid off the stadium. Haylen's producing talent. We're in a position now where buying Declan Rice for 105 million, even where you look at Zuba, it's not big money in today's day and age, but Zubamendi at 27, Eze at 27, well, 26, Eze at 27, Gyökeres at 27. Even if we were going to spend big money, we all know we would have done it if you were early to mid-20s. So Wenger's done that, built the stadium. We're in a great financial position. Was Arteta the guy to steady the ship, make some difficult decisions, and the next man that comes in is the man to get over the line? You could leave with your head held high. I would love for you to do it, Arteta. I would love for everything to work. I'd love for Martinelli's decision-making to work, Jesus to stay fit and score goals, Zinchenko to be able to defend, Ramsdale and all the other players that have left to have been here, Tierney to have the ability to invert, but that's not the way it is. That's just not the way it is. And DG Martinelli could have played Glock 14 through the first half and he ran into a blind and we need to look past him. He's regressed. Decision-making, man. Decision-making. Horrible, bro. Big up DG. Let's not get carried away with the Isak hype. Arsenal should fix this team and start feeding Victor. He's a straightforward that works for his goals. Arteta should stop the lazy tactics. I hear you. And it's for me, like, I think I said it earlier, the Leeds goal. I like that from Gyökeres. I'm not used to that, definitely where we're at now. But if that's what he's going to do, it's not sustainable. Like, I'm yet to just see Donny score a tap-in. That's what I really just want to see from Gyökeres. Like, when he was announced, what did I say in the announcement stream that I did? For all of the free kicks he's taking and pulling out to the left and all of that, that weren't, obviously, I'm attracted to that. That gasses you. That's highlight real stuff. But for me, it was, the thing that got me is, bro, it's the ugly goals. It's just a quick scoring from 5 yards or just shifting it onto his left, banging it, because that's what we need. We've had Jesus and Lacazette where you lot can score some very good goals, where you're dancing past teams, scoring from acute angles, but How often is that happening? At least Wenger played attacking football. I'm just imagining Wenger ball with this squad. Le Prof needs to have a word with the gaffer. I keep saying this. The João Pedro goals. João Pedro looks good, you know. I would add him. But then we've got Jesus, so it was never going to bang. Don't say a bad word, DG. Come on. Go away. Big up yourself, Rainmaker, man. Do you think Hincapie is the last signing? Well, yeah, because we can't sign anybody else until January. I don't think we're going to make signings in January. I do think there's we already know we need to sell people. Personally, I think next year or in anything in the next 12 to 18 months, there's going to be some unpopular decisions. And what I mean by that is, like, Havertz might have to go because there apparently is interest from Germany. Arteta wouldn't want that, but Kai might have to go. Wanyeri might develop. Wanyeri might develop. Eze might take over the captain's mantelpiece. I'm not saying this is going to be a thing, but that might be something. In Arteta's mind, maybe because you couldn't get a left winger, but you're rather fond of Martinelli, me the same. He might have to cut. Obviously, in terms of bringing in money, I defo don't want this, but we've signed 2 players to new deals in Wanyeri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. The club might sit there and say, you know what, maybe them man have to get sold. I do think we're going to see 1 or 2 unpopular decisions type of thing because we're going to have to start getting some bread into this football club, if I'm brutally honest. We really need to work on the left field if we want to win the Prem this year. Arteta, you've got the tools. Hincapie's coming. Calafiori started well. Miles Lewis-Skelly announced him basically a new signing of sorts because he started this season part of the first team. He weren't really like that. Obviously, Eze's come into the mix. Even Zubamendi and Rice, they can both play on the left and the right. You've got the tools. Make it happen now. I'd love Bacola, but he never wanted to leave PSG. When was the last time we scored a tap-in? I mean, technically from a set piece, Calafiori, but yeah, I couldn't. When was the last time we scored a tap-in? United weren't a tap-in. We didn't score against Liverpool. There weren't no tap-ins against Leeds. Must have been Kai, man. Nah, let's be honest, man. There's a lot of disingenuousness. Like, there's a lot of. This is why I hate. Like, that's one thing I hate about content because people don't call it for as they see it. Like, they don't comment on what they've seen in the game. There's all vested interest. Some people are interested in like whether they support Arsenal or they work for media, like the Sky Sports is like Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, just chatting shit, being dishonest, creating a narrative. It gets clicks. And likewise, there's obviously I get it. You got to pay your bills. There's people that are in with the club. There's people that are in with the club, so they're never going to say a bad word about the club or about the football club or an element of honesty. And honesty is the best policy. Why can't we just call it for what we see it? Like, you could look at the Liverpool game, boring game. Both teams, didn't really look at full strength. Probably heading for a draw. Moment of brilliance from Liverpool, saw them win it. But for Arsenal, there's still the same questions about in-game management, creativity, questions about that left-hand side. Obviously, you saw Onslaught make a change. Again, I can't equate for Szoboszlai doing what he did, but what I can equate for is us losing kind of control in that game, giving away that free kick and what led to it. DG, if Jesus comes back from injury, who would you rather have left wing, Jesus or Eze? Because I remember you saying you wanted to see him play left wing. Jesus, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres up top. I still rather Eze. I just want him in the starting 11 now. Like, I see no reason why Eze can't continuously just be in that starting 11. Like, I don't care if it's 8, 10 left wing and all those things, but if Jesus was fit, I would want Eze in the 10, man. Eze in the 10. Jesus out wide, Gyökeres up front, interchanging movement. You can maybe even drop out a Rice or a Zubamendi and get Odegaard in that way. And then even that, like, can we just try Odegaard over on the left, his favored side? Because I was watching the season we scored better goals that year. What was it, 2022, 23? Do you know how many times Odegaard just dropped deep on that left-hand side and pinged it in behind? Go and watch Brighton away, where Trossard scored. Go and watch that. Which Odegaard, obviously, he's done well on the right-hand side generally, but he's a natural left footer. And I understand the pros that come with having, natural footers on their weaker side, but naturally if you're on the right hand side as a left footer, it's like me at left back as a right back. Of course, I try my best, but I've been told I'm both footed, but I might let the ball run across me, take it with my left foot, try drive it inside. But naturally, it's like Timber on the left hand side. I'm naturally right footed. So how many times am I going to come inside when the ball and receive the ball? How much times does that kill you? How much times is Odegaard? Maybe because you're on the right hand side, you have to take things you could have done in one touch on the left. You now need two. And if I want my team to move the ball quicker and all those kind of things, you see where I'm going with it. You lot are in top form, man. Yeah, you lot hate me, man. Engagement's dead today. Big up you lot, 72 likes. Really underrated. Liverpool game really made me 100% give up on Nelly. Had at least 3 1v1s against a centre mid playing right back. Couldn't beat him or make the right pass. Martinelli, what was it? Like, you had a 70-year-old Ashley Young, you couldn't get a tune out of him. But I don't want it to be that, if I'm honest with you. I don't want to just keep talking about Martinelli. DG just copying me right now. He watched Jess's show yesterday where I said, and she quoted me, Jesus, Eze, and Saka with Gyökeres in front is as good as Liverpool's attack. I'm sure of it. I didn't say that last sentence. Big up Jess, but I didn't watch that. And I'll learn from anyone, but really, from what you lot have seen of me in years on YouTube, come on. DG saying he's two-footed like Dembele, this guy. No, I've been told that, but I wouldn't say I'm two-footed. My left foot can get me. I'm definitely right-footed. I ain't no Santi Cazorla. It can get me out of trouble. Like, it can get me out of trouble. Can definitely get me out of trouble. But yeah, that Nelly run on the counter, I just sit there and think how much the coaches have failed him. The coaches have failed him, but then, Martinelli, you've downgraded yourself. You failed yourself to the point now where I was going to tweet it. Did Matoma not go uni where he was at Brighton and he wrote a thesis or dissertation or whatever they call it at uni about dribbling? You need to read that, Martinelli. Martinelli, can you even read? At this point, I'm being disingenuous, but yeah, big up Nelly, because the way it's looking, bro, you need to go Man United and play wing back. Big up yourself, D. Bless up, DG. All the tools are in place. You got the tools. Now, if you can't build it, it's your fault. Upset we didn't get a winger. Same. But it's probably wishful thinking, man. The Rodrigo thing, probably in hindsight, never had the finances. Liat was never going to bang. Maybe we could have scouted someone from somewhere, like, I don't know who, but Cody Gakpo was over there at PSV. So by that logic, is there players somewhere that can upgrade us? Or Luis Diaz previously at Liverpool, is there players somewhere? Because respectfully to Martinelli, come on. And I do think our signings, well, not so much this season, because Mascara, I didn't see that happening. But it's like we signed debate players. Like, there's not really any mystery anymore. We signed debate players. Big up yourself, Boxed. Fresh Limited. I feel sorry for Martinelli. Looks like the black sheep this season. Yeah, and I think it's getting towards scapegoating. Nice mug. Appreciate you. So what happens to Lookman? You got to sit tight until January at the earliest. When doesn't Lookman's contract run out at the end of the season? He ain't gone nowhere, innit? Unless he wants to go Turkey. I think the Turkish window's still open. Ha! And you can't make this up. This is how I know journalists talk nonsense, because I'm typing in Lookman, yeah, just to see people. Fenerbahce sent first Lookman offer, but lacking any agreement. See? So you see where we're going. I'm sure his contract is up. Maybe it is what it is, man, and they're just letting him run that now. Tell a lie, 2027. So cut price move either in January or the summer. He's, PSG had a bid last summer, rejected. Bayern and Inter were unable to get him. Martinelli bench player, man. You're a bench player. You are some. Martinelli's thing is somebody. Martinelli is someone now that we just use. You start occasionally, but we use you when there's injuries, or we use you when you need to help out defensively, or we help you. You help us in game. If we're winning 1-0 and our backs are against the wall, and the other team's onto us, we might bring on Martinelli for A, because he's going to defend, but B, obviously, if you're like, imagine we're a goal up and you're putting Arsenal under pressure and you're starting to gamble. You bring on Martinelli, whose decision making might be poor, but he's obviously quite quick. Your right back now has to think, because we might, in your pursuit of, if we're winning 1-0, in your pursuit to try and grab an equalizer, you might concede. That is Martinelli's thing. That is Trossard's thing. That is Jesus' thing. Bit different, but that is Kai Havertz's thing. It is what it is. Martinelli's still getting called up to the Brazil squad. Big up Carlo, man. And Rodrigo's not. So it just tells you football's a funny old game of opinions, man. Funny old game of opinions. Look at this guy. SLD's chatting nonsense. Big up DG. Big up the chat. You think Gyökeres should get a bit more lean? Looks a bit heavy when man runs. Maybe some weight management would help him move more rapidly. I hear you, but he don't look any smaller or bigger. Not that I'm watching his weight than he did when he's scoring goals in them highlights. I don't think it's an issue. This, I don't think it's. I'm sure maybe he has to lose some weight. I think it's more of a fitness thing. The man is, nobody in the Premier League is fit right now, anyways. Much less someone that ain't really had a preseason, probably played a lot. Like again, for me, not that I'm, you know me, I'm not excited about injuries or anything like that. But one silver lining with Kai being injured is Gyökeres has to play. I don't think, I personally think Gyökeres doesn't start at Anfield if Kai's there. I definitely don't think he starts the season against Man United, if I'm honest with you. I think his only seat start comes against Leeds, and he probably would have got 60 minutes. So when you got a man that's not fit, learning the system, we're not creating anyways, so it doesn't matter who would have went up front, unless your name's Thierry Henry or R9, where you're just mad, so you probably would have got the goals. We're not helping ourselves. We're not helping ourselves. Maybe, but if he scored, bro, if Gyökeres bagged against United, bagged against Liverpool to go with his 2 against Leeds, and everything I said here was still prevalent, no one ain't talking about if he's got man boobs or anything like that. I'm not worried about Gyökeres as a person. I'm worried about if Mikel Arteta is going to get the best out of him, because you need to free up the attackers. You need to free up the attackers. It's all on you now at this moment in time. Like, it's on nobody else. You've got to make it happen. Simple as that. If we start to look at certain things, people, you would have seen yesterday, obviously, Hincapie completed his move to Arsenal, his loan move, people. He's joined us on an initial season-long loan from Bayern Leverkusen. Andrea Berta said, we are delighted to have completed the loan signing for the season of Hincapie. At only 23, Piero already has significant experience both in the Bundesliga and at international level. He is an intelligent defender with real strength and versatility. His performances in recent years for both club and country have been on a consistently high quality. We are confident Piero will continue to grow this season and be an important player for us. And again, apparently, well, the Athletic have name dropped him for time, so he's been on our recruitment plans for a while now. So you need to know how you're getting the best out of him. We are so pleased to welcome Hincapie. Is it Hincapie or Hincapie? But Piero to the club. Piero is a real physical presence with his physicality and tactical versatility, giving us strong added defensive options. He's a big character with a very good combination of both youth and maturity. He'll make our squad stronger and more competitive as we continue into this season. We welcome Piero and his family to Arsenal. So yeah, big up yourself. I think he actually said his best position is centre half, which to have him, Calafiori, Magalhaes, you lot fight it out, innit? Miles Lewis, Kelly, Timber, White, everyone in defensive ranks. Fight it out. Give Arteta no reason to leave you out. I want to leave my mark at this club. Technically, I have. I think you're the first Ecuadorian to play for Arsenal. But I think I know what you mean. What has he said? It only took one conversation to make me feel sure about the decision that I was taking. I'm over the moon. I want to gel, I want to gel as best as I can. Okay, I want to gel as best as I can with my new teammates and have a good season. I always want to win trophies, which is annoying because a lot of people have won trophies at this away from this football club. I want people to win things together. I want to win trophies for this club, to make a name for myself and to leave a mark. I want to get off to a good start quickly, and that's the most important thing. He spoke to Xhaka about joining us. We speak a lot, but not about Arsenal. However, I asked him about Arsenal at one point and I queried him about how things were here. He spoke wonders about the club and how he felt during his spell here. Yeah. Did he tell? What did he say? Forget, because yeah, Arteta, Arteta, the club, like actually there. But what did he say about the fans? Did he say they love you today, hate you tomorrow, and love you again? And I must admit, yeah. Sorry, people, let me close my window. I must admit, yeah, I do think there's an element of disingenuousness where Arsenal fans are concerned, yeah, on social media, because big up the chair, because I saw a lot of when we lost to Liverpool. Hey, on social media, Arsenal fans came for every player but the manager. We win together, we lose together, but I don't like that stuff. It's either everybody catches corn or nobody catches corn. But yeah. And the biggest testament I can give this guy is, well, you don't look 23. You've been around for time. Like, you can play left back. I don't really like doing the whole left back, left wing back. It's the same shit, but you can play left back, left wing back, centre half. You played in a 5, a 4, an interchange system under Xabi Alonso. So you've got the intelligence, you've got the South American swagger. You're my kind of defender because you're aggressive. It has its cons because he's one of them defenders that wants to win every ball. But I'm on that. Carrot Skeeler. Hey, don't take me for a dickhead. Big up DG, smashed it on Talksport the other day, my bro. Come on. Big up you and congratulations to your team. But it was, I can't lie, man. I might be bad luck for Arsenal. Whenever I go on Talksport, we don't win them big get now. We beat Madrid. But when that free kick went in, I just had to like, fair play. Because I think you could actually see it in the build-up. I was like, yeah, I think I said, yeah, the game's not ending 1-0. It felt like one of those games where it's looking like a draw. Someone's going to get heartbreak. And unfortunately, it was us in it. So we have to move on. But love for that, my boy. Love for that, man. Hopefully, I get some more opportunities and appreciate you. Love to see I'm doing the people then proud, man. So yeah, he spoke on Xhaka. He said Xhaka spoke wonders. He did send me a message recently. Comfortable playing both centre back and left back. He's played 46 times for his country. He's captained them. You would have seen, I'm sure, at the last World Cup, and there was definitely an international tournament, maybe the Copa America. Sometimes I think he's a bit overzealous, and we have to remember he's 23. He is going to do some dumb shit, but I like him. The pros outweigh the cons. I think I can bring a lot of courage. See, Kivio weren't speaking like this. Sorry, Kivio, but come on, bro, man, I'm not speaking like this. I can bring courage. South American is what I'm on this. I do my job well. Brother, I think I can bring courage. I do my job well. Friend in me. Just wants to do his job, collect his paycheck, go home to his family. I'm on that. I want to show my qualities as I've been doing it for years. I want to give so much for this club. My best position is centre-back. Interesting. I've played many games at fullback as well, but I think I'm best at centre-back. As for my qualities, I'm pacey and I like carrying the ball forward as well as being a great leader on the pitch. So Arteta, build up play. You got the what we've been talking about, folks. You got the tool. Use the tool. Obviously, you would have seen Lokonga's join Hamburg on a permanent transfer. Best of luck. Show company when you play Bayern Munich, you're the next Yaya Toure. Kivior has departed and gone Porto on a season-long loan. Thank you for your time. Big up you for against Real Madrid, but you just were never going to get a look in. Like, Hincapie might get more opportunities at left back than at centre-half, but him, Calafiori, they're more good news for the squad, bad news for Magalhaes. You were nowhere near Magalhaes, and there was a point where you're a natural left-sided centre-half. There was probably like a Tomiyasu, Timber, White. They were probably more likely to play centre-half before you. For Kivio, I just think you need to go and play some games and get some confidence, man. Wish you all the best. I actually think Porto will sell you and make a profit at one point, but just a bit too wet behind the ears, a bit too nice with it, if I'm honest with you. Like, I know it's not like this, and you stood up tall against Real Madrid, especially because Saliba's the one that makes the mistakes, but I'm just a Sunday League footballer. But you know when a defender's not confident, or me playing as a fullback, if I step on the heels of a winger and he's not on it and you can see he's scared, job's done. I always wonder, do people because that it's not even just Kivio. Early days Emirates, people fancied our defense. You get at them, rough them up, job's done. I always think, can you get at Kivio? I remember the Bayern Munich game. I remember Sporting Lisbon away. I remember Brighton playing with your boot. Remember Fulham as well. You just weren't good enough. And you, unfortunately for Kivio, is you couldn't do the left back thing. Hincapie can do that. Calafiori's left-sided centre-half as well as able to play that. You can't do that. So do your thing. I think we would have kept Kivio. I don't know what that would have meant if we could have got Hincapie, but I think naturally he's probably gone at the end of the season and said, Gaffer, I've given it a good chance, but realistically, even though this season's been a bit rosy for me, I only really get an opportunity or looking when there is injuries. That's his thing. If you're not talking the League Cup. So fair enough. Go do your thing. Go smash it at Porto, my boy. Reece Nelson, another one you want. I need you to, God, please just keep this man fit and go smash it at Brentford. Go and smash it. Go and smash it. Go put yourself in the shop window, or you never know. You'd imagine Trossard won't be here next season. You never know with Martinelli, apart from the wages. Could there be a revitalization? Because he'd still technically have 2 years left on his deal with an option. I'm sure I could be wrong. Realistically, we hope he plays to the standard where somebody buys him permanently, because at the end of the day, Fabio Vieira and Reece Nelson, they ain't left permanently, still on loan. It's still something to deal with. Zinchenko's gone Forest on loan. This is the one that took me by surprise. Best of luck, Zinchenko. Go do your thing. Big up Edu as well. You looked after us. I hope Nuno Espirito Santo plays you in midfield, actually. Go do your thing. Go and do your thing. Now, obviously, he was in the last year of his deal. couldn't shift him on permanently. He's on big wages. I do think other clubs would have done something. For all the speculation with someone like Zinchenko, because who was he linked with? Multiple clubs in Turkey, couple clubs in Italy, couple clubs in Spain, West Ham. Did anyone come to you with any real level of offers? Because being interested still don't mean you're going to leave. Clubs are interested in people all the time. We were interested in Eze. We only got Eze because we went from, okay, we're interested. Let's actually go and get this done now. Go do your things, Zini. But, and you know what? The only thing that annoyed me about you, Zinchenko, was you never want to just shut up, not shut up in the media, if I'm honest with you. Former Gunners on the move. Flipping out, bare Gunners on the move. Big up all of them. And best of luck to Hubert, our former academy goalie, Tyrese John Jules. They're playing for their free agents at the moment. I think they were losing to Brighton a 0-0. Like for players that get released, you know, the PFA try get them clubs and they play like showcase matches. Best of luck, man, because yeah, hope everyone gets a club. Should we read this, people? Arsenal's first transfer window with Andrea Berta. Yeah, you know I can't say that. Ingenuity, connections, and work ethic. And you know what? He joined us in March. Done well, man. No one can sit here and say Berta ain't done his job. You're being disingenuous. I'd love for Reece Nelson to become the starting left winger. He's made some magic moments. It's true, but he's 25. He'll be returning 26. You made your debut under Wenger. Like you made your debut under Arsene Wenger. Think about that from when that happened to where we're at now. I would love it to be the case. It's over now, isn't it? I still believe we can win the league because of the Mark Gurhey deal collapse. I don't know if that fills me with any optimism, but I hear it. Smash the lights. Come on, man. Smash the lights. Smash the lights. Saliba and Gabriel really rated Kivior. They should be rating him. He's a teammate. He's a teammate. Of course you're going to rate him. He ain't playing ahead of you. They can rate him. I don't not rate Kivior. I don't think he's shit. You're clearly a good footballer. You're Polish international. Just you're not level. You don't fill me with confidence. You felt me with confidence, obviously, when you got your look in the team and you got your run, but you don't fill me with confidence. I'm a hypocrite because Hincapie ain't kicked a ball for this team, but you fill me with confidence. Magalhaes, it's cool to rate Magalhaes now. When we were saying, where's the chance? He's underrated. Some of you said he's better than Pablo Mari. I've been wrong about everything. But one guy I was with from the jump was Magalhaes before he even got the hair transplant and all of that. It's cool to rate him now. We was there. Fills me with confidence. Timber, White, confidence. Tomiyasu, your fitness not so much, but you on the pitch, great. Miles Lewis-Kelly, confidence. If there's one area you want to feel confidence, well, for us, it'll be our attacking ranks, but it's defense. Kivior, I just think you was a bit soft, respectfully to you. Just being honest. After Arsenal's 1-0 win at Man United, Andrea Berta made his way through the corridors of Old Trafford to the away dressing room. He joined the celebrations in typically unfussy style, handshakes, backslaps, a few quiet words of congratulations. He then stepped into the tunnel for a conversation with new Italy manager Gattuso. Wherever Arsenal go, Berta seems to know someone. Come on, we're the plug now. We know everyone. Edu never knew everyone. Remember when Mateta moved to him? Exactly. We'll fight you if you keep up. You can fight me, but it's not bringing Kivior back. Kivior's gone. I won. Kivior's gone. You lot said we weren't getting a left back. I won. So he's gone. And him naga come back. Don't blame me. We called for Mikel Arteta said goosebumps. Unprecedented summer. Berta's coming. If we want to go somewhere we ain't been, then we have to do different stuff. They made the decisions. Don't shoot me. I'm just an armchair expert. You're still on about that. You're going to have to eat that. Harvey Elliott gone Villa. Needs to play first team football if you've got any hope of representing England. And I'm sure Liverpool would have kept you as part of the squad. But boy, like you're not even ahead of Curtis Jones. But before you talk about everything Liverpool have at their disposal, it's darkness. You know, Harvey Elliott can leave with his head held high. He won a bunch of stuff at Liverpool, played week in, week out. I'm sure, if I remember correctly, he was a boyhood Liverpool fan, even though he came through at Fulham. Is what it is. He's occasionally spotted around the first team. When not in the director's box or holed up in his London Coley office, Arsenal's sporting director can be glimpsed at the side of the training pitch, watching the new signing settle. At the Emirates Stadium, he'll appear pitch side to watch the final few minutes of a game. During Arsenal's 5-0 win over Leeds United, he politely applauded Gyökeres' penalty from the tunnel. Don't worry about it, man. I know you got me. I know next summer it's not wholesale. We might just Messi Julian Alvarez, Berta, I know you got me. I know you got me, man. I know you got a left winger for me, man. I know we're gonna get some sales. I know you got me. After matches, he's frequently a silent spectator as the squad go through their post-match warm down. That is all most Arsenal fans see of the 53-year-old Italian. I'm happy. If you want to do that, you make the business, that's it. Because football's gone mad. We should even know sporting directors and FFP and money and all these things. Just to know you do the business. Since his arrival at the end of March, he has largely operated from the shadows. In the age of self-promotion, Berta is discreet. There are no social media profiles, no interviews laying out his grand plan. His only public pronouncements have been to confirm new signings or renew contracts. Berta evidently prefers to let his business do the talking. Get me, my guy. Bare Ray and left for you. Got so much for you. Hennessy, everything, man. Most important signing, if I'm honest. Imagine that, because we could have rubbed out. It could have been Jason Ito. We could have rubbed out. On deadline day, Berta helped Arsenal tie up their 8th first team signing. Hincapie joined from Leverkusen with a price tag that could eventually total 52 million euros. I must admit, English publications, can you just pull it in pounds? Because it's even less. Plus a 10% sell-on clause. How'd they manage that? He joins Eze, Zubamendi, Norgard, Kepa, Mosquera. Pardon me. Gyökeres in a remarkable summer haul. Gyökeres is perhaps the centerpiece of Berta's spending spree. His conviction about the 23-year-old Sweden striker helped persuade Mikel Arteta and others of his suitability. In a challenging market, Arsenal feel a deal worth an initial £55 million represents good business. At the same time, Berta and Arsenal feel frustrated at the club's inability to sell unwanted players. This is a legacy issue at Arsenal, but one Berta has thus far been unable to resolve. The Athletic spoke to people, let me guess, people who want to remain anonymous to protect their identity, who have an understanding of Berta and how he works to assess his first summer as sporting director. They discussed the Italian on the condition of anonymity to protect relationships. Now, I don't doubt that, but this could be worse, because I do always think, to a degree, this could just be make-believe to a degree, but I want to make believe today. It has Berta's capabilities. It is Berta's capabilities as a deal maker that have earned Arsenal most praise at Arsenal. Earned most praise at Arsenal. The signing of Hincapie provides a good example. Arsenal had to line up with Kivio's departure for Porto. Hincapie would only be signed if Kivio left, and Kivio would only be permitted to leave if Hincapie was secured. At one stage, Arsenal hoped to solidify matters by offering Kivio to Leverkusen, but they were not interested. Karma, why weren't Leverkusen interested in Kivio? So Arsenal carried out the two negotiations in parallel. The second challenge related to cash flow and financial regulations. Having committed to around 250 million this summer, Arsenal were keen to avoid paying out another 45 million for Hincapie in the same accounting period. But how do they do that while providing Leverkusen with assurances the deal will go through? Because Leverkusen get to put it down as the next financial year. We will run them the bread, as we did with Raya. Hincapie wants to sign for us. We're big bad Arsenal with big bad Berta. We make things happen now. It's simple as that. A standard loan with obligation would see the deal appear in this year's accounts. As the deal was guaranteed to go through, a loan with an option would knock the deal into next year's accounts, but was never going to satisfy Leverkusen. Arsenal pulled off a loan with an option for Raya in 2023, but that was only possible due to strong relationships and trust from Brentford in Arsenal's verbal commitment. Berta and Arsenal found a workaround. A loan in which both Arsenal and Leverkusen hold the trigger to a permanent deal. If Arsenal failed to activate it, Leverkusen could do so, forcing a compulsory purchase. The only way a permanent deal doesn't happen is in the unlikely event neither club want it. The same arrangement was made for Kivio's move to Porto. That kind of ingenuity is what has impressed Berta's closest colleagues at Arsenal. Berta, big up yourself, yeah? Because it's nothing to do with you. But it's more us as Arsenal fans and the people he's impressed. This is how long we've gone without having people that just have genuine competencies. Because as much as I'm gassed about Gyökeres and Berta and Eze, when you really break it down, a club of our standards should have someone like Eze, an attacker who provokes havoc, a striker with the ability to score goals, a sporting director who can do things that we need him to do. I don't know, people, but I must admit, it is what it is. His contemporaries also marvel at his work ethic, the breadth of his connections, and his efficiency. Berta's guarded demeanor makes for a stark contrast to his predecessor, Edu, the Brazilian who resigned from his post in November 2024 after 5 years in the job is... Oh, these words are crazy. Gigacherous? whatever that word is, you lot read that out. Outgoing and a natural spokesman. In Edu's time, he and Arteta were joint figureheads for the club. Outwardly, at least, the dynamic with Berta is different. The role of sporting director no longer appears to be particularly public facing. On football matters, Arteta is Arsenal's sole frontman, and that's great. The lines are not getting blurred. Glockers, don't worry, man. Never giving up on your thing. Never ever giving up on you. You're gonna back goals for us, man. Subscribe and like if you haven't. Arteta has cut his teeth at one of the biggest clubs in the world. That is mad. Now you need to deliver, man. They just signed Fernandez, the real Fernandez, plus Ten Hag got fired. A lot was going on. A lot was going. If he was good enough, they would have bought him. We as fans are right to vent our anger when things aren't going the way we expected after our DOF has identified Glock 14 as a priority. But if the coach can't implement a way to get the best out of him, he has to go. Why is there always an early season blow? Isak has deflated the season for me. Isak's cold, yeah, but he shouldn't be watching that. Shouldn't be watching that. Big up SB in the chat somewhere. Big up SB in the chat. Arteta has done one hell of a job. Don't take him for granted because the grass ain't always greener. To that, I would say you're not wrong. But a wise man once told me, don't let your girlfriend stop you finding the love of your life. There are other respects in which the position of sporting director appears to be evolving. I'm a fool. I said that proper deadpan, innit? Edu originally, and it's all entertainment. Edu originally joined Arsenal as technical director in 2019. In November 2022, a structural reshuffle saw him ascend to become the club's first sporting director, a role in which he assumed overarching responsibilities for all academy activities on top of his existing duties with the men's and women's team. Berta is also titled sporting director, but having been parachuted into the job in spring, his role has had a narrow focus: men's first team transfers and contract renewals, which I'm all for that. Obviously, just because it's that, it don't mean he's not in touch with the academy, what's going on over there. But it felt like too much people are doing too much. Like, let's be brutally honest. Arteta went from head coach to manager at the time, let alone now where he's 6, maybe 7 years into the job. Edu, fair enough, you worked in the Brazilian national team, but you've got too much responsibility and too much things to do for someone that ain't got the experience for that. You throw in even a Mertesacker at the time. It really ain't making any sense, if I'm honest with you. So I hear it. With Arsenal on the, bro, these words, Principies, I don't know, man, of a critical transfer window, one on which the club recognised both they and Berta would be judged. They opted to let him concentrate on his squad building responsibilities. Arsenal have arguably reaped the benefits of that decision, embarking on an unprecedented summer of spending. Some have expressed surprise that Arsenal have. Do you? Smash the like button if you do. Even if only temporarily allowed the role of sporting director to be distilled to transfer guru, but the hierarchy determined that this is what the club needed. Berta's influence can be seen across Arsenal's recruitment. He was always wary of sanctioning a 25 million euros move for Garcia. When Garcia chose Barcelona instead, Berta was happy to pivot to Kepa and his 5 million release clause. When it became apparent Thomas Partey would leave the club, Berta was insistent they needed an oven-ready, experienced replacement that contributed to the decision to sign 31-year-old New guard from Brentford over the likes of Sevilla's Lucien Agormi, who we could circle back for. What's going on with Norgard? Because I can't lie, Arteta, I think that injury is a bit more serious than you're leading. I actually think we needed Norgard to come off the bench against Liverpool. It's interesting, man. Interesting. Has DG celebrated catch up reaching 1K subs? We bigged them up yesterday. Big up the catch up on getting to 1K subs. But with the journey, don't stop there. Go and subscribe to the catch up. The journey now that was yesterday. It's now about 2K and 3K and 10K. And don't do that. Don't do that. You can ask SB, man. Like I WhatsApped him today, man. Said the journey don't stop. Berta gets 10-10 with his transfers. He did what he could. Outgoings, we've been dead, which Berta, I allow you because I've been here for a couple months, but yeah, man, that's what I was looking at, really. 3 games in and people are doom and gloom. You've got to have some level of hope or positivity without being deluded. That's what you did there, Arthur. You're asking football fans, like Arsenal fans, to be logical. All I would say is people will do what they want to do in it. Like, we knew what we're stepping into this season. We know if we beat Liverpool, we're winning the league, we're winning everything. It's done. Wrap it up. We've lost to Liverpool. Wrap it up now. It's done. We're not on it now. Get everybody out. That is going to happen week in, week out. Simple. We know what we're getting into. We knew before a ball was kicked this season what was going on. You knew that. Everyone that's defo here knew that. DG spitting more wives, better life. Nah, man. I never said that. I never said that. Berta is family youngs. DG acting like he wouldn't take Isak over Gyökeres criminal behavior. Where did I say that? Of course I would take Isak over Gyökeres, but the Isak thing for us weren't a thing. Even that, if we spent 125 million on Isak, then, and I would have had it, but that might mean no Eze. Or if you get Eze and him, that might not mean Zubamendi. That might not mean like the squad filler signings. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would have, Isak is perfect for us. Like Isak was perfect for us, but it was never going to happen in it. So it's neither here nor there. Who knows, man? Liverpool, if you're selling, Isak ain't that good, man. Bring him over here. Bring him over here. Bring him over here. We'll sell you. We'll sell you Sego Junior, man. Big him up. Don't worry, he's better than him. He's better than him. Arsenal sporting director had watched 21-year-old centre half Christian Mosquera at close hand during his time at Atletico Madrid. This is the kind of deal that excites him. A cut price move for a player with significant promise and potential upside. This summer, Arsenal have largely adopted. One second, people. I've just had an idea for an edited video to make for you lot. And I'm a big fan of writing down ideas. Edited piece. Gyökeres so far. Eze. Mosquera. Noni. Open play. Backdrop for Arteta so far this season. Sorry, folks. Always working for you, like you know. See? Better thing. But yeah, staying on task, people. This summer, Arsenal have largely adopted a win now approach, but Berta is advocating for recruitment of more young players as potential investments. What have I said I want? Buy low, sell high. If we get some young G's and they develop into the first team, great. If not, and they're sold, great. Put that money towards stuff so that one day when the next Isak is available or this one is available, we can start flexing. Because next season, bro, it should only be about 2-3 signings and one superstar signing. Because now I'm starting to believe all of that players with X Factor crap that we used to get told people. The wheels of the Madueke deal were greased by Berta's good relationship with Ali Barrett. Bro, this Ali Barrett guy's chopped bread this summer, you know. Noni Madueke, Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, and there's a couple of others who brokered the agreement between the two clubs. So a sporting director can have good relationships with an agent as long as he's not a dickhead. Perhaps one outlier is Zubamendi. The framework of this deal was agreed before Berta joined the club. Had he been in the situ earlier, there were other candidates for the number 6 he favoured. Unless you're bringing me Bruno Gomares, less of that. Zubamendino's the guy. On Gyökeres, Berta got his man. That's not to say it's his signing. What do we make of that? By the time Arsenal decided to progress with a deal, other key decision makers were wholly on board, but it was Berta who banged the drum for Gyökeres most consistently. So, okay. That means Arteta, the coaching staff, the recruitment staff, Berta, Tim Lewis, all them kind of man there, they're all sat in a room. Oh, fucking hell, what are we going to do this summer? We're going to, forget everything else that we've done, but we need a striker, don't we? What's the candidates? Maybe for us at the time. Because I genuinely think in the world of football, they must have known the Isak rumbling, like before it became public knowledge. Okay, we ain't got bread for Isak. Sesko, all right, cool. We've narrowed it down. We're going for Sesko and Gyökeres. Who wants Sesko? Who wants Gyökeres? 10 man put their hand up, whatever. Okay, you might want Sesko, but do you think Gyökeres is good? And vice versa. All right, we're going to try and go for both. The Sesko thing, which we obviously put groundwork on, it didn't bang. We now need to go and get Gyökeres. It is what it is. And I don't want to hear anything around Gyökeres around, Arteta didn't want him. Shut up, man. How do we know Arteta didn't want Mosquera? You're going to get a tune out of him. We're talking about it. You got to make it work. Because even if you got Isak or Sesko, but I'm not seeing chance creation to the level it must be. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards. Just make it work. One trait that Berta's collaborators praise is his clear valuation of players that contributed to Arsenal's reluctance to pursue a deal that could ultimately cost 84.5 million euros for 21-year-old Sesko. By comparison, Arsenal feel a maximum payout of 73.5 million euros for a proven goal scorer with experience in English football is a good deal. On the Eze transfer, Berta and Arsenal were flexible. They had initially hoped to pay in the region of 50 million, but with Kai Havertz injured and Spurs on the verge of sealing a deal, Arsenal went as far as 60 million with a further 7.5 million in potential add-ons. Sometimes the needs of the team dictate the valuations can be bent. That's nothing unique to Arsenal. It should be with everybody. These transfers have been the focus of Berta's work since arriving at Arsenal. His detractors sometimes refer to him as a club agent. The inference being that he's a deal maker and little more. Who cares what he is, bro? There's always check people. We needed this then. More time is regarded to determine whether that criticism is fair. Who's making this up? But even if it is, Arsenal may not see that as a negative. At this phase of their journey, looking for the missing piece to turn them from contenders to winners, a deal is perhaps just what they needed. I mean, we get bantered about not getting it done on the pitch. But how many transfers have not been done? We need someone who can get it done. He gets it done. Stop chatting shit about my guy, man. Berta's black book of contacts and ability to execute brought new impetus to Arsenal. That he works closely with agents has helped Arsenal. The reps of Gyökeres, Madueke, and Hincapie all played crucial roles in helping to negotiate club-to-club arrangements. This is what we do. In Berta, we trust. Allowing Berta to focus on player trading and contract negotiations is only possible because of the infrastructure around him, which, again, I like that, but that is what a competent team should have. Arsenal have Claire Wheatley as director of women's football, Perma Asaka as academy manager. Berta has relied on strong support from James King, Arsenal's director of football operations. While Berta is framed as the master of the deal, it is sometimes King who does the legwork. Do the legwork, bosses. Don't talk, they just sit back and listen. When Berta says we're doing X, Y, Z, bro, go get his coffee, go sign these things, bro. Go and do that. Let Berta do what he's doing. Berta's home team is still being reshaped. Jason Ito, who served as assistant sporting director to Edu before stepping up to become interim, left Arsenal in May. He's at Newcastle. To replace him, Arsenal wanted former Juventus head of scouting and Granada director Matteo Trigonozzi. Arsenal held talks with Trigonozzi, but decided against the appointment. So why was that? Why did that happen? Because we never know why. We haven't been told why it didn't bang. But I wanted him just because he helped get Juventus, the Housens, which they got signed for, a couple of decent talents, Kin and Yildiz. You see where I'm going. If we've got players, you know, you're signing your Gyökeres, your Ezes, these dons for right now. You're getting guys like Kin and Yildiz and Housen. If they can progress to the first team or be sold for profit, we're laughing. That's just me, though. But yeah, with Trigonozzi out the running, the club promoted James Ellis to become technical director. Ellis had previously been head of recruitment and is well respected within the club. At a time of considerable change in Arsenal's recruitment, personnel, and processes, Ellis's promotion provides continuity. Aside from his first team responsibilities, Ellis has been involved in the recruitment for the women's team and academy, including playing a key role in Arsenal's Irish record agreement to sign Victor Ozanova, 16, which he can't join us until he's 18. Recruiting more elite teenage talent remains a focus, which is true. And I can't lie, I know it's not I don't care because you know I love youth talent in it, but I did think there would be a couple more young players coming into the 18s and 21s, if I'm honest with you. Arsenal have a broad range of skill sets and are happy to divide responsibility, which anybody should be doing. If Berta has an affinity or chemistry with an agent or club, he will lead that negotiation. This happens in all aspects of business. If King is better placed, he will take up the realms. Occasionally, Executive Vice Chair Tim Lewis will engage in talks at ownership level. I'm not going to lie, yeah? Have you deeped, yeah? Pardon me, this summer, they're trying, like the papers and the tabloids, they're trying to put Tim Lewis's name in a bit more positive light, if that makes sense. Mourinho is available, sack for Arteta. Yeah, we're not getting Mourinho, my boy. Fair play to Bertie, got the business done. What have we made of this so far, man? We got Warren in the car. He don't even support Arsenal, but he's a mod here. Hey. Less of them words. This team needs Mourinho. He's perfect right now. Arteta out. No, it's not over till the fat lady sings. I'm still full of hope, and Liverpool is not unstoppable. They're scared of. I don't think they're scared of Arsenal, unless I think there's a healthy fear that if of everybody in the league, but I wouldn't say they're scared, and we shouldn't be scared of Liverpool. Should be scared of ourselves. Try and be the best. Look the men in the mirror. Let's be the best we can be. Don't overlook it next time. They won't get away. We'll win. I hear that, but it's all fun and games saying that. It's actually got to correlate. Mascara, I spelled it wrong. May low-key be the best and most underrated sign of the season. I don't know. Because you're right. In time to come, and he stepped up tall against Liverpool and right back, left-sided centre-half, right-sided centre-half. That could be good. I think Zubamendi's gonna be cool. He died in the second half, but I think Zubamendi, to a degree, is our most important signing. I say that though, I believe that with Gyökeres, we've got a talismanic striker, and for all his faults, no man or woman on this earth is without faults. But we all know Arteta, you got a bad boy striker, create some chances. Because even when Marino, Kai, and all them guys were up front, we were still saying the same things. And then you have to throw Eze into that. But it's nice to have those conversations. I don't know though, man. We've done good business. Let's just make sure we live something. With the window closed, Arsenal intend to attend to the wider remit of the sporting director role. Either Berta will take up more responsibilities or the executive hierarchy will be reshaped so others can inherit them. Listen, give Berta more responsibilities where we think he needs to. All the other irrelevant stuff, go, you lot do that. Any sponsorship events, you lot do that. Let's just Berta, business settings. Business settings. And you know what, KSE, you lot have done your thing this summer. Can we now look into the multi-club structure? Sometimes you have to get your hands dirty to live clean. It's anticipated that Berta will look to expand his team with another significant recruitment appointment expected in the coming months. Berta's key relationships have been with Lewis and Arteta. That trio have operated as a secretive silo to lead Arsenal's business this summer. Lewis first met Berta in December as part of Arsenal's search for a successor to Edu. He was immediately impressed with the Italian and felt he could bring a fresh dynamic. Arteta also met with Berta as part of the recruitment process. While he had always had good chemistry with Edu, he saw the Brazilian's departure as an opportunity to add something new. Ultimately, Arteta's full assessment of Berta will be determined by whether he gets in the players he needs to shut up. He's got the play, bro. You got the players you need. Keyword need, not what you want, because you was getting what you want. You're getting what you need now. No, we're not getting Garcia. Bad boy goalie, going to do well for Barcelona, but we don't need to spend 25 million on that. Cool, you wanted Sesko. It's not looking like it makes sense. Gyökeres settings. You wanted Eze, you got that. We know Arteta is a madman and he loves a left back. So cool, Hincapie. We know he loves a Chelsea bargain bucket. Cool, you got Madueke. And also Magalhaes, Miles Lewis Skelly, Wanyeri, new deals. If he can just Saliba, Saka, it's cool now. So I'm here for it. And I think I'm going to start crying now. Arsenal did not secure all of Arteta's desired targets. The likes of Garcia is cool. Howson would have been good, but you got Mascara. They would have loved Mbuemo. I think Mbuemo. I would have preferred Mbuemo over Madueke. If I'm honest with you, I know they're not the same. Nevertheless, the manager will doubtless be pleased by what Berta has accomplished. And you can't even look at that. Jurgen Klopp wanted Julian Brandt, who could have been a madman for Liverpool. But Michael Edwards, what did he say? There's an Egyptian lad over there at Roma or wherever he was that didn't work out at Chelsea called Mohamed Salah. Fair to say he worked out, right? So, yeah. And we've shown an inability to pivot for time. Like when we was linked with Rafinha, where he wanted Barcelona at the time, and then the same articles that we're reading, the Athletic said because Chelsea in the Champions League at the time, he wants them. What's the difference? I don't want to keep running around looking for Nico Williams and all these things. Like, by all means, pursue these guys, try for these guys, but we've been not able to pivot. And then what have we done? Oh, we tried, we could have. We got to keep the powder dry. Forget that. The powder's been dry. Pull it in the cannon and let's shoot. Simple business. Arsenal have added depth. The unknown is how many of those signings will take the team forward. They will all take the team forward in their way. Obviously, Mascara, it's more of long term. Norgard, you're tying us over. In terms of game changers, I think we've only got 3. I think Gyökeres, Zubamendi, Eze, and 2 of them are in the area of the field that we probably have the most concerns. The only concerns I don't have about Arsenal in the final third is how we press. Traditional stuff we talk about in the front line, evidently, because I must admit, I ain't got the answers. But I do think it doesn't matter who we have. We could have Mo Salah. We could have Isak. We could have this one. I'm not seeing enough clear-cut chances. And I'm not expecting it to change in 3 games. But it's 3 games. Saw it once in pre-season. Didn't really see anything. Once we get to the 10th, 11th, 12th game, if I'm saying these same things, I'm not going to throw my toys out the pram. But I'm going to be very more critical because that is when you're now going to see the majority of players and teams tactically, technically, fitness-wise, all take shape, people. So, yeah, man. Throughout the appointment process, Arsenal were struck by how much Berta wanted to join, a bit like the players, prioritizing them over other clubs. In the final stage of the process, Berta dined with co-owner Josh Kroenke, who ultimately gave his approval on behalf of KSE. I'd love to know who else we interviewed. The move to Arsenal has not been without its challenges. It's a different culture, a different organization, and all in a different language. At Atletico, Berta was one of several senior figures shaping recruitment responsibilities. The in tray of his desk at Arsenal must have been daunting. Yeah, there's brother. What the hell is that word? I won't lie, not a Scooby.
Idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy.
Idiosyncrasy.
Idiosyncrasy.
Okay, that one. Arsenal has that. The contracts they negotiate with players are complex. There are other Premier League clubs who offer more straightforward terms that can make negotiations protracted. Yet, but ends the window having overseen a hugely impressive list of signings. As far as Arsenal go, it is a summer like no other. Best of the Emirates era. Not that there's much to go off. Much of that can be attributed to Berta. Is difficult to say. Shut up, man. You can get all the praise. Arsenal have decided to go big. We're not doing this with Edu. So what are we talking about? We should have done this last summer, if I'm honest. Their business indicates a club prepared to leave nothing to chance. Left wing. They believe that in Arteta, they have a manager capable of winning the biggest prizes. In the likes of Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, and Saliba, they have players of the highest caliber. I like Arteta, but I don't know if you can win the biggest prizes. I do think we have players of the highest caliber, as that thing has said. This is the moment to capitalize, the moment to strike. And what have I said to you, lot? Obviously, we can't look forward. We can't look backwards. You can only look forward. But what I don't want to happen is if Liverpool win this league and they go on a period of dominance, or City come on the scene, or eventually clicks from Chelsea, or we get to that point at Arsenal where Arteta, you've taken as long as you have, as far as you can. We had 3 golden opportunities where maybe we could have won every Prem in the last 3 years on the spin if things were different. Maybe only 1 of the 3, maybe 2 of the 3, maybe 1 in a couple of domestic cups, maybe 2 in a champs. But this is all here, there, and everywhere. We ain't done nothing. What made Arsenal fans believe again? So yeah, Berta has undoubtedly been a beneficiary of that shift, but he has held up his end of the bargain, securing a number of deals at favorable prices. On the retention side, he secured new contracts of Gabriel, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Wanyeri. The latter of those negotiations was at one stage delicate, but Berta was able to smooth things out and quickly get an agreement. Negotiations with Saka and Saliba continue. There are 2 major outstanding issues Berta inherited in April, and surely will be the focus in the coming weeks. Arsenal remain confident that those talks with reach a successful conclusion. I think they mean will. Sales remain a sore spot. Tell us about it. Although Berta showed a capacity to trade, offloading Kivior to help fund Hincapie, Arsenal will be underwhelmed by their returns. The club had hoped to find buyers for Carl Hein, Fabio Vieira, Zinchenko, and Nelson, but had to settle on loans. Yeah, we did. Berta, that's probably the one. Yeah, I heard you had the reputation for selling, and you've done well. You've just been at the club, and I know it's difficult, and you're inheriting that, but you're a hustler, bro. Hustlers make things happen. I don't know what going there. Nelson and Vieira's loans to Brentford and Hamburg include options for a permanent deal, but there's no guarantee those will be converted. Albert Sambi did depart on a permanent deal also to Hamburg, but Arsenal only received a nominal fee. So at least for all of those players, we're hoping they played that their current temporary homes take them, or they put in the shop window for next season, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on. Arsenal were dealt a slice of fortune with Zinchenko, who joined Nottingham Forest on loan after Forest's move for Athletic Madrid's fullback Javi Galan fell through. The Ukraine international was the subject of varying degrees of interest from several European clubs. Yeah, but unless this is something new to us, no one's raised up any offers. So this was it. The alternative would have been Zinchenko just hanging around, really and truly. Marseille pursued an agreement last week, and Arsenal were optimistic of a deal, but ultimately Zinchenko could not come to terms with either Arsenal or Marseille over his departure. This was frustrating for all parties. There you have it then. Arsenal want to improve their revenues from player trading to ensure they can continue to invest substantially in the squad. It remains to be seen how this summer's lavish expenditure without significant revenue through player sales will inhibit Arsenal in future windows. But has shown his capabilities in recruitment. If he can make Arsenal better sellers, it could be a transformative impact. Just a few months into his life at Arsenal, Berta is swiftly established and made his presence felt. Arteta has been provided with the deepest Arsenal squad in the generation. Now it's over to the manager to deliver. That last sentence. Arteta has been provided with the deepest Arsenal squad in the generation. Now it's over to the manager to deliver. And I agree. So what's our thoughts on Berta then, people, in his first transfer window as Arsenal's director? Let me know your thoughts. Should we see if there's anything else? What do you lot rate this window in terms of incomings as well? Now we can actually do that. Yeah, we might look back in hindsight, but what would you rate it as a whole? A 9. A 9. Because I think there was scope to bring in a left winger, but even that, Eze can play out there, Madueke can play out there. Maybe I'll give you a bit of an excuse because neither Trossard nor Martinelli moved on. Gabriel Jesus wasn't fit, but he didn't move on. Maybe if we got some money from some recruit, well, some money actually, because what did we? Who actually left permanently? Lokonga, Marquinhos. The free transfers don't count. Maybe, but I can't like Kepa. Cool. I didn't. Second choice keeper. Not gonna scream and shout about that. All right, cool. Big fan of Zubamendi. Isolated. I think Zubamendi's a 10 out of 10 signing. I hang my hat on him. Norgard, we pivoted quickly with obviously Partey not signing a new deal. 6 out of 10. Like him, but I only expect to see you here for 18 months, 2 years, if that. Madueke, 5. 5. Because I tried to put my fact that, you try and put the Chelsea stench and all of that to the side. You do help us with rotation, but it is still betting on potential and things of that. So I'll give you a 5. Mate, and again, 5 at the time, 5. Mascara, I'm quite bullish on you, I'm giving you, this is all my individual ones. I'm giving you an 8. And I mark it down by 2s because you're a young centre-back. I know you're going to have to learn, but I'm gassed about that. Gyökeres, 10 out of 10. Obviously, you're going to have to be criticised if you're not scoring the goals, but you've done everything to make the move happen here. It's more of a case on all of these attackers are one thing, but Arteta needs to get something out of our team tactically in an attacking sense. Wanted a striker, got a striker I can believe in, provided we create. Eze, 10 out of 10 signing. Hincapie, 8 out of 10 signing. Really happy about you. Collectively, give it a 9. In terms of income, in terms of 9. Would I have signed Mascara and Hincapie? Yeah, if I was part of the recruitment team, yeah. Would I have signed Eze? Yeah. Would I have signed Gyökeres? Yeah. Zubamendi? Yeah. Those 3 are level raisers. Would I have signed Madueke? No. Would I have signed Kepa? Probably not, but then probably yes if I'm in the recruitment thing and the Garcia thing is not happening and we're, had a good year for Bournemouth, Spanish, second choice, just keep it moving. Norgard. So again, it's you kind of have to drop it a bit. 9 out of 10. But then, if you offered me this in May, I'd have said do it. And do I think you've got these players now, Arteta, you can make it happen, innit? Because I don't know if Berta wanted Madueke, but clearly the gaffer did. Make it happen, bro. So yeah, where are we at with that? Interesting. We got Berta for that one. What's this? Stan Kroenke beats 4 Premier League club owners to 8 billion boost. Arsenal's takeover destiny laid bare. Having just overseen a transfer window that saw Arsenal spend almost 250 million, Stan Kroenke will be reflecting on the economics of football when he finally sees a return on investment. The American sports and property colossus has sunk around 1 billion into Arsenal in the form of equity funding, loans, and money paid to wrestle full control from Usmanov in 2018. And to be fair, they have invested since taking full control. We're definitely not going to rewrite history around the Kroenkes, but you've got to be honest in life. Stan Kroenke and the Gunners go back a lot further than that. Almost, yeah, bro. What is the bulk of this article? In the past, KC have taken several figures in the form of board salaries and management fees, but that's the type of return that the Kroenkes, one of the world's richest families, don't bother getting out of bed for. If I gave you a tenner every time your heart beat, it would take you approximately half a century to accumulate Stan Kroenke's net worth, which reportedly stands at around 16 billion at the time of writing. But that 16 billion figure isn't all liquid capital. A huge chunk of it is wrapped up in Arsenal, about 3.5 billion. According to most research, and because like every Premier League club owners beside Man United, KSE don't take dividends. They'll only realize the value of their investments when they sell up. So when might that be? Hey, what? Saudi. Arsenal's transfer business this summer and in recent windows doesn't suggest anything other than 100% commitment See also their emphatic refusal when Spotify billionaire Daniel Ek enlisted Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, and Dennis Bergkamp to help on the PR front in his bid to buy the club back in 2021. Man, in hindsight, you just wanted to you was on the Dangote thing. You just wanted to boost the share prices of Spotify. The fact that plans are afoot to increase the capacity of the Emirates at an enormous expense doesn't signal they're looking for an exit either. Okay. That said, Kroenke's business plan for his investment in North London changed overnight with the disintegration of the ESL, European Super League. It's already here with this new Champions League format. The 78-year-old personally helped put the plan together. Top executives from Arsenal regularly met with their opposite numbers at United and Liverpool to discuss the Super League over cuisine and expensive wine. It was the grand vision that unified. And you know what? All the other Europe, we're not even going to bother reading this. All the other European teams will bite your hand off for this because the Prem are running away with the piece. And the Rams are worth nearly 8 billion. How much did Kroenke really pay to fund Arsenal's summer business? Kroenke has provided over 300 million in soft loans to Arsenal, which have no interest attached, but are not expected to be repaid anytime soon, if ever. That's money the club needed to cover costs in recent years with prolonged absence from the Champions League, yada, yada, yada. Yes, the 250 million plus that they spent will not have all been up front, but per their last set of accounts, they owed other clubs 268 million in transfer installments, and that figure will now have increased significantly. So yeah, you look at our debt. Top four. Well, is there any? Well, to be fair, Liverpool should be up there now, but okay, 5 of the top 6. Okay, fair enough. Money's been spent, and now we can finally talk about trophies. No one don't care what Rio Ferdinand's had to say about Arsenal. Anything else? Anything Arsenal related in the last hour? Huh? It's about Saliba. No, we saw this already about Saliba, so we're not gonna bother reading that, people. But yeah, let's get back into you lot's comments. Big up John Antman. Why didn't they have a 100k stadium in the first place? There's like over 8 billion people in London, would fill it easily. Can you even have a stadium in England 100k? Because United got the biggest stadium. I swear you can't build bigger than United, because United did that time ago. I swear you actually can't do that. All the clubs would be. And you're right, we are in London. If I had 16 billion, Arsenal would be number 1 in the Prem liquid capital or not. Stop talking money. I ain't got 1 million and I thought I won the lottery by now. Man, talking about billionaires making a coat without hood is pointless. Yeah, that man. None of this matters, DG. Your coach ain't the guy. Been here since 2019. Slot came in 24 and clocked it like the premise pissed with only one new player. Half fit one as well. That's so deep. I hear what you're saying, but I can't read the article again. Who's talking about? I'm just reading the article. I can't provide you lot with content. Damn. Eze and Glock 14 and Zubi is what I gave that rating. What did you give? 7 out of 10 for his first window. D's gonna want to fight me for that rating. We need someone like, but do you know what? If it is a 10 out of 10 window, then we need 10 out of 10 trophies. We need someone like Rodrigo or Leao on the left wing. I'd be happy with either one. I hear you, but it's neither here nor there now, man. We've made excellent. If we made excellent player sales, then it goes up to a 7.5. But right now it's 5.5, 5.5 out of 10. Come on. There's no way the window's a 5.5. Come on now. Come on now. It'd be a 10 with Rodrigo, 7, 10 with Rodrigo. Gyökeres 9. Isak would have been a 10. Odegaard 8 out of 10. Oh. You had a panel and Aaron said we need 10 signings and people scoffed. We're not far from that. We're left wanting more 8 out of 10 window. Big up Aaron. I'm trying to get him back on the play. You're right, you know. Fair play. That's a good angle. If we rate the whole window, it's a 0 out of 10 because we still have Arteta and some of these signings are his. Otherwise, it's a 6 out of 10. 4 players are ours out of the 8. Some of you are being disingenuous, man. 6 only, my guy. I fear them. 6 only guy I fear out of them is Eze. Rest on me. Zubi is hype. He gets found out in the Prem too slow and small. He's over 6 foot. It's not about scaring people, but fair enough. 7.5, you got rid of Edu's mess. In fact, why am I even take? If you don't support Arsenal, I don't care about your rating, you know. It's not about being scared. We need competent players. There's players at my football club that scare me that don't normally do the right thing. Martinelli scares me, not in a good way. More sales, it could have been a 9. For on the, in terms of incomings, it's minimum a 7. You can go 8, 9, 10 out of 10, 7. In terms of outgoings, it's terrible. That's the only kind of mark. 8, 8.5, 8 out of 10. Need to focus more on sales. Cooked up on madness. And again, you have to give the club, you got to give the club some credit. You didn't think, nobody thought we're bringing in 8 players. Nobody thought we're bringing in 8 players. Nobody can cry about the depth now. Zini will be a free agent in the summer. Thanks for your service, but you had to go. I hear it. Let go, DG. Laughed at us. We might be back. Man United, yeah? Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You lot back now, yeah? Okay. Typing, snipping tool. Word to other God. We're here. We're here now. I still think we need a proper 8 to switch things up at times. I wanted Mbeumo. He can play across the front line. He's Premier proven, but I won't cry about spilt milk. Yeah. Very impressed how easily Mascara's fitting. It don't surprise me in the defensive ranks when the defenders fit in and do well, because we're a good defensive side. In the same way, it doesn't surprise me that our attackers might struggle. We might even say Eze struggles if he starts the next 3-4 games. Arteta, coaching, bro. Mascara is cold. Good headache for Arteta. Need headaches. Big up, bro. Arsenal will be fine. Just your manager stubborn. Well, then we're not, man. We're not going to get out of the hood, man. There was a lot of good to take out of the loss. Yeah, man. Arteta love a Chelsea bargain bucket. Like, listen, Madueke, you get my support. And if anything, 1, it's because you play for my football club. And 2, like, you lot know I'm not, the petitions, all of that was a mess. But cool, Arteta, you want that. Because people love to have it both ways. People love to sit here. If the Gyökeres don't bang, it's not Arteta signing. Okay, Madueke, he's got to make it work. Because no one weren't saying to sign Madueke. He's here now, he did well against Liverpool, but you've got to make it work. You've been given everything, bro. DJ, I found you a lovely house in Winchmore in North London. Winchmore was expensive. Went secondary school in Winchmore. Lovely area. Until you walk up the road and you see Wood Green. You know what I mean? Darkness. What else are you lot saying? DJ, my bro, when FM26 drops, get back to being consistent on Twitch. Got that Nelly decision making right now. We'll be back on Twitch, man. Allow me. You're right, though, man. You lot just want to see me lose my head. DG said, based on income is how do you rate the window? Some people don't listen. Man said Hendon. Oh, Collindale. Oh, gosh. Wembley. Oh, gosh. Finchley on the right part. Oh, gosh. Without excellent sales, I'll rate the win at 7.5. It's just because next summer, yeah, we're going to have to thingy. Like, you got to deal with the Fabio Vieiras, Nelson, Kyle Hine. Kyle Hine might even have a year left on his deal. Oh, fair enough. Of course, you can. Wembley 90K. Most they had in there is 96. Joshua versus DDD. Fight New United Stadium going to be 100K. But then now you see what's going on. They want Super League, bro. They definitely want Super League. And to be fair, my hot take, not even hot take, I just wish Cronkies were sat there like, yo, Arteta win champs. The Club World Cup is looking like it's something serious. We can only get in there if we win shit in Europe. That could be our avenue type of thing. 5 more likes into 100, man. I'm pulling you like we should live in Wembley. To be fair, I'd love to go back to him. There's nothing like your team being in a final, going down them train stations. That it's a nightmare getting out, but who cares when you win, man? I want to die at Wembley again, man. Man, never heard of planning permissions and councils. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm sure we can't do that. I'm sure we've been there. Karma for the club. We want to be number 1, the perfect owner. Nathan is breading. Stop breading. Should keep Kivio, so we're not getting anywhere. The KSC don't make any sense. They have a lot of big sporting companies, but sticking with a rookie manager at Arsenal make sense. But for me, Arteta has no excuse. You have no excuses. Even if you never got these signings, you have to get over the line, bro, or you have to win something because you believe in your capabilities. If you didn't, you would have left. And you've been sniffing at it. Make it happen. Make everything fall into place, man. Give us Arsenal fans what we want. Man said, fan base, how many think these you should live in the Arsenal community from Archway to Winchmore Hill? Look at this guy. Big up, call me, man. Look at this guy. It's on me. One day you're going to say that. I'll be like, no, actually, I live in Barnet. You know, Mesut Ozil's my next door neighbour. I wish. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hi, Venga. Need me to get any milk from the shop? Going to the shop. Okay. Everything good, yeah? Everything good. AJ, shout me. I need tickets. Sadiq Khan, hey, shout me. No, I'm playing. Can't do it where Arsenal are based in Islington. Local council and housing authorities won't allow it. Emirates was barely allowed. Isak had to do a madness. And to be fair, them lot down the road, we won't say their name. Them lot down the road had to do madness to get that stadium. Chelsea are probably crippled in that regards because where Stamford Bridge is, like, they have to move out of there or build up. And if you build up, how far are you going? Hincapie is a cutie, bringing him the eye. Berta bringing the eye candy and why for that I don't know about that, but interesting, Karma, because you never said that around the players, so we know what you are. We know what you are. Karma Shireen, we know what you are. I'm a rattler. Smash the lights. F to do stadium. I want trophies. I hear that, yeah, but you needed a new stadium, and obviously our stadium is new to us, but because it's not hybrid, but it's not new, put to a degree. Could you imagine if we just decided to do the stadium stuff now? That's what David Dean Wenger did. What you needed to, man. You lot foolishness. You lot on foolishness, man. Chelsea bargain bucket is, man. It's true though. Like, I'm not even dissing Madueke, but you were. No one was signing Madueke, but at the end of the day, the one man who did is Mikel Arteta. You're the manager. We're chatting shit on YouTube. In my case, I'm an armchair expert. Make it work. I'm not even on to Madueke. I think you done well, but don't try and make him be the level raiser. Arsenal should never play Martinelli again. Gone too far. We're gonna have to utilize him. Bro, we've been here for 2 hours and 10 minutes. That deluded fella can ramble, can't he, people? DG could have got Anthony or Garnacho instead of Madueke. Dead. I'm having Madueke over Garnacho 100%. And you should be thankful to us. We gave Anthony a career. You look, I can't lie, you look actually flogged Anthony though. Big up Jadon Sancho. They'll sign for Aston Villa just in time for the Vibes Cartel performance in Bromsdale. Do you think we can still win the league even if Liverpool have an incredible squad? Define winning the league, because we've had an unprecedented summer. That was never known to Arsenal. In many ways, that could be winning the league. Seeing us stumble and get up every time, it could be defined as winning the league. You got to remember, we did win the Champions League, in Lisbon a few months ago. I do think Arsenal, Liverpool, a lot of these teams have a lot of unique qualities. If we run really fast, try really hard, pray, who knows? We've got to believe it, innit? Liverpool are the favourites. I'm still thinking City are up there, but I'm even going. I know I'm only 3 games in, but I don't think I think I jumped the gun a bit too early with City. We have to maximize what we can maximize. I still think Liverpool win the title, but you just have to drive it all the way. Man said I'm breading. Allow me, because when Carl and Shelly get you with the ginger and press like Klopp, who backs you? Behave yourself, Uncle. You gotta be silly, man. Runs really fast. I know what I'm doing, man. I know I'm doing 10 for better. Pep's wife took his soul. They're done out here. Be his last season. Unpopular opinion, I think for the last 2 years, Pep's wanted to cut, but I think they've said just allow us. I actually think they've said allow us a bit, because they're letting too many guys go. They're bringing in too many. So yeah, give me the UCL. Don't back him. Oh my God! Big up Nathan though. Big up Nathan. Big up Shirley. Big up Carmen. Big up Nathan. It's nice to see the women sticking together in the chat, man. You lot are serious front three coming like MSN. Big up yourself, Nathan. Big up you. He said Nathan's that G best friend, Carmen. Yeah. Give me the Champions League, Nathan. Is with the table, but you want to be an idiot? Nah, we ain't winning no league with Liverpool having both Isak and Hincapie. It ain't happening. Plus, they can score goals always when they need to. We don't do that. I don't think we're winning the league. But then what we got to do? Pack up now. Might as well try, innit? Might as well try. I've said it. I don't think Arsenal win the league, but might as well try. Or to win something, because what's the point then? Oh my God, Liverpool are great, so let's not try then. What happens in life? I'm not saying that's not directed at you, Jordan, necessarily, but that seems to be it. You're always trying to drag my girls and I'm not having it. No, I'm not. That's why I'm not dragging Nathan. I'm not dragging Nathan's one of your girls. League Cup there for you, Warren. League Cup not there for you, lot. Warren, United, you lot in a title fight because you lot 2 points behind us. Might as well pack up Arteta and stop trying to bang our head on the effing brick wall. How about that one? I hear you, but the guy's staying in it. Like, he's not going. Maybe if I could control things and we do things different. But Donny's here. Let's just try it. If we don't do what needs to be done, which is what we expect, there's no guarantee that Isak works at Liverpool right away. Maybe not necessarily right away because he's chasing fitness, but I'd imagine he signed a 5-year deal. What is anything from 2 games to 10 games to get your fitness of a 5-year spell? And even that, you've got Hugo Ekitike doing what needs to be done. You've got Salah. You've got everything else. So it is what it is, man. We might as well pack up. How would you feel if we finish second for a 4th time? I'm not hearing it. Of course, I'd be gutted. Of course, I don't want that. But okay, because we assume that's going to be the case, so we might as well just pack up now. So what are we going to do? We're 3 games into the season. So what's the point then? All right, you know what? Where's my bag? Pack up any hopes. You know what? It doesn't matter if we win any games. Doesn't matter about the League Cup. Doesn't matter about... You lot are defeative as fuck. And I'm not one of them positive dons doing the Mighty Ducks thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? Am I a prick? If you're out in the club, yeah, and your group of friends are here, and that group of friends are over there, and you look at that group of friends, man, are 6-foot kickboxers, all this, you might get thumped up. But if you're gonna fight us anyways, we might as well go out properly in it, get the bottle and move mad. What are you not talking about? You're not on this victim thing. I'm not on this victim thing. Go out on your sword. Go out kicking and screaming the same fucking way we all came into this world. The fuck a man on about? So then what, we're just gonna pack it all up then? All right, everyone go on holiday, done it all off. What the fuck? What's man on about? Hey, Warren, you're gonna get blocked. Shut up, man. Shut up. You would die to be second, bro. You support man divided. Warren, fuck off, man. We was robbed. They played a player they shouldn't. Hey, Man United getting robbed, getting zanged. Ha 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 ha. This Ferguson shit is not working no more. Ha ha. Man divided. Yeah. This is what Arsenal have. Arsenal have Man United fans bragging about a Liverpool drilling. First defeat in 2 years. Say what you want. Second again. Ole, 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 and all that crap. Winning Real Madrid trophy and all that. But when you come around here, you know what time it is. Slots out. Oh my God, if they play themselves, if we play 10 times, 8 times as a draw, they'll win 1 hour 1. Slot, you're a gentleman. You know what time it is. You can't tell me what you can call us bottlers. You can't say we're shit. Shut up, man. Come get your points back, pussies. Lie it, man. Too much chess for a team that got dumped out the same week of Carnival in the League Cup against Grimsby. We got 99 problems. You lot would die for these issues. I don't care about what you did when Alan Smith was a player and Leeds and all that crap. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck off, mate. It's all entertainment, man. We lose 1 game and everyone's immediately starts taking relegation. I hear it, DG, but I'm tired of us as fans having chess and believing, but the manager moving cowardly, afraid to take risks. I can't back that. Might as well give up. Listen, I am not believing Arsenal will win the league. I am not dreaming of that anymore. I'm just saying we have to. If you think we can win the league and you're doing all this, Liverpool, that won't work, or everything is negative, regardless, do we not have to still play these 30-odd games? So you might as well, like every team, whether you're in United's case, which I'm sure they're trying to get 40 points a lot sooner than they did last year and not get relegated, and they should thank us for beating Leeds, or your Liverpool's case where you're trying to retain the league, or you're us trying to win it, or you're trying to be 4th or top 10. You got to win games. So let's win as many games as we can, draw as few as we can, lose as less as we can, and see where that takes us. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, put my FA Cup in the bag, man. That's the one thing I've only said with chess. I believe Arsenal winning the FA Cup. By all means, clip this, get on to me when they don't. League, Liverpool's. Champions League, just have to hope on the footballing gods, man. Liverpool smoked you. We lost 1-0. And why are you cheering for Liverpool? If we got smoked losing 1-0 to a glorious free kick against them lot, yeah, then you lot got smoked against us. And Bright, okay, cool. No shame in losing to the champions. No shame. Onslaught's done it. Not just at Liverpool, but in Holland. That's cool. You lot got smoked by a team that just can't stop finishing second. That played a model, that left back. Forget Arsenal. You got smoked by Grimsby then. But you captions the nation's heart. To see you lot go into a big game like that against a bigger team in Grimsby, come back from 2 goals down and lose it on penalties is crazy. Where's Joshua Ozerski, that Corbin Blue prick, that High School Musical dickhead? Where's that now? Where's that now, you dickhead? You lot sold your best midfielder in McTominay, Ballon d'Or nominations. You lot are the problem. Big up Jadon Sancho. Big up Rashford. We hope they back. Fuck out here. If you're gonna, you lot's trolling is tired. But when you lose to Grimsby, empty barrels make the most noise, man. BR. Because you know you're gonna be sat on this stream and I'm gonna get on to you. You know. By all means, chat your shit over this international break. You man robbed us. Come get your shit back then, pussy. What you getting robbed then? We didn't steal, we robbed. We took your chain. That's ours, blood. We could do it by it. You know who took it. Califuri. Gentrification, Hackney Don's done it to you. Lie, fam. I don't want to hear it. Remind them again, DG, too much chest, living on fumes of 2010. Bro, that's all they've got. That's all they've got. Tired. So if someone pees on your ankle, like Jay, I'm not sure what you're getting on with here, but I'm gonna read it. DJ, sorry. So if somebody pees on your ankle, you ask them to finish as well. And please pee on my other leg too. Taking it far. I know. But like for how long we got him, mate? I don't know what R. Kelly thing that is. I'm on this football thing. Like if you and your brethren are peeing on each other, my boy, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on there. Crazy example. I don't even know. Wait, boy. You do your I don't know what drunken madness is going on over them sides. I don't know about that. Maybe that's what Man Divided are doing. DG, just because gal have you holding their bags at carnival and have you as their assistant, don't get onto me. You don't get women. I don't either. I did listen. Let's think about what we're doing. I don't either. Since when did this stream now turn into a cussing match? Is that what we're doing? All right, Kate. Let's go. Nah, I don't want Man United to get fingied, man. I don't want them to get fingy. I don't want them to get relegated. Who else are we going to get 6 points off? Liverpool got 4 to 6 points. Liverpool got shooters, but we packed that thing too. I hope so, because our manager's got a gun. The pagans are there. He's not trying to let it go. Like Emirates man's there. Sesko hat-trick. Yeah, how about Sesko score a fucking goal, mate? How about that? But he jumps really high. He runs very fast. He reads Kobe Bryant autobiography. He's got tattoos and that. Man are taking penalties 10th because they got cramp. Get your ball, go get you. I don't know what that is, man. Go talk to Eddie and Ketio. Nah, Warren's winding me. Kwame's winding me up, Warren, man. As you know, Peter Fun, I don't know what that was about, blood. That is crazy. That is absolutely. I don't know what you was getting at with that one. And if we did rob you, as I advise to everyone in this day and age, we live in a day and age where you could walk through central London with your phone out and maybe not me, but you lot, someone could swipe it. Or some of you, which could happen to all of us, got Rolexes and chains. Get your goods insured. If we robbed you, if you had insurance, you snitch to the police and say whatever, oh, big bad Arsenal stole us, to set the corner boys did it again, they'll reimburse you. Get out of here, man. Come on, man. I'd be mad as well if we were that shit and went, yeah, boys, it's United. First game of the season, come on, man. Leeds and Liverpool. Bigger test. It's calm, man. It's calm. Sesko to score 5 goals this season. That's a good season for him. I am not beefing guys that have 13 league goals. It's not fair. Make a wish dons. It's not fair, bro. It really isn't fair. Sesko, keep working hard, man. You might even end up playing in the back three. Man United fans, look me in the face and tell me, gun to your head, you've got Sesko on the bench. You've got Harry Maguire on the bench. You're a goal down. You need a point to win the league, or more realistic for you lot to stay in the division. Time is ticking. There's a minute left. You bring on Harry Maguire or Sesko. You know you bring on Harry Maguire. So what? Say what you want about Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta he always fronts up to the music. He ain't never thrown his players on the bus against fucking Grimsby, and he ain't ever come out and said, sometimes I hate my kids and all these things. What the fuck are you lot doing to Amarin? Scammerwin. What are you lot doing to him? Sometimes I hate my kids, now I love them. Brother, what the kids done? You brought the kids into the world, you know, should have worked on them. Your poor old missus thinking, what the fuck? The hell? Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. Man said, what channel you want? We're here. Well, like I say, we played different roles. I don't know when we got into this silly slaggy match, but I'm drawing myself out. You know what? Why beef for Man United fan? They're in the title race because they say, oh my God, Arsenal are fighting for the title when United are fighting relegation. We're only 2 points behind you. Okay, cool. Or whatever you all are. You're involved. Make sure. And you're not playing one game a week, which is a benefit. Jay, I don't know what that was from you, man. United fans didn't get enough lashings for that. It's cool because when they're done calling Arsenal crap, they're going to come off this live stream or come off their thing and they're going to be upset. Man, are holding Silas Ferguson things up. It's over. Liverpool beat us 7-8-0 in our plays, and they just keep winning. And Danny Mills was at City, and now City's doing this and Arsenal. Oh my God, I'm mad. Don't ever say that dickhead is better than Bukayo Saka, by the way. Fuck guy. The only positive about being a Man United fan is that JJ kid, he's cold. I should know better, man. Amarin's going through it. He's bold soon, man. He's bold soon. Don't worry, Amarin, man. In fact, it's bad news. Ten Hag. He's a free agent. Go on, United. Go on. You know you want to. Go on, United. You know you want to. To be fair, United could end up beating Man City. But on that note, though, somehow we've been here for close to 2.5 hours, people, in an international break. With you lot, that is ridiculous. So yeah, big up you lot. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. You know, always hang around like a bad smell, so make sure your notification bells are on. Check out the live stream that I did earlier. In fact, when this video is done, it should take you over there. And yeah, on that note, God bless you all, man.